Hi, I'm back. Allie, part two for LiB's video. Can you imagine part two? This, jeez, Louise. Let me turn this up. I'm listening to the music, music free, the free music. This is Hertz, 432. They said. Allie, I'm hoping there's no commercials in this one. First you got to search for the. Is that a commercial? Oh God. Because I don't know how to come out of here and skip the commercial and get back. I'm on desktop. I know you're like, well, desktop should be easy. I'm not techno savvy. And my sign rules technology. Could you imagine? Hold on, I done made a rum and coke. Or was this a whiskey coke? I know at this hour key lime. Was it 5:02 a.m.? Cousin, forgive me. Girl, I'm eccentric. Ask your sister. Yeah, 5:02. And I don't see no shame about it, okay? Um, Before I used to feel bad, people call me that. Um, and they call me unicorns in verse. When I was shopping for shoes in Soho, in the early 2000s, somebody in that store called me mayor. I used to love those. Where were thieves? But sidebar. That took me. She had, not in 1990. I wasn't that mayor in 1990, but I had Joan and Davis. That your sister said she only got a Joan and David. God, I didn't get to the cousins video. Did I do a cousins video? No, I wrote it. You got that, but I'm gonna do a cousins video too. Joan and David's, and Aunt Liv was like, "Well, who else wear your size?" We on the phone. She said, "Common sense. Well, who else wear your shoe size?" I was like, because her feet, her daughter's feet are bigger than mine, and Margot's feet is smaller. She said, "You believe what she had was a pair of Joan Davis?" I, but I wasn't back to the point. I wasn't wearing Mare, and no shade to your sister. You know what I'm saying? I actually love these people. I did. You ever seen the episode of Matlock? I'm old school. I love Matlock. I can look at a marathon of it right now. Columbo. That was my ish growing up. But in any event, Matlock was coming out the elevator in the courthouse. His light blue. He's the reason I wanted to be a lawyer. He's one of the reasons. You know what I'm saying? And then Max and living single. I'm like, but people in metaphysical communities, I'm my God. Not because they compliment me, they do readings. Person, it's not an insult or a compliment. It's just what they see in a reading. Mayat, the deity of the scales. You can look up your goddesses too. Get that book, 366 Days of Goddesses. Go to your birthday. And don't buy the book used. Pages are teared out. Amazon, like, y'all selling books. Well, this is years ago, maybe not. No. I don't know if Amazon got control over that. Missing pages in the used books. Oh, but in the event, I would get that new. So when you turn to your birthday, the page is there. All those deities, those are the goddesses that ushers you in when you came into this physical being. They and look up your lunar and solar eclipse, where that was at when you was born. That's how you thank the earth for having a body, a physical corpus. Girl, you're a Scorpio. You probably already know this. Yeah, look that up. Jill Spiller taught it, but what book do you look up your lunar and your solar eclipse? I think it's Jill Shout out to Jill Spiller. Her books. Ooh. And I got them as gifts. Shout out to all the friends that give gifts as books. I mean, books as gifts. I don't understand coming to a birthday party empty-handed, especially if you know the person reads. Books are so affordable. Hell, you can buy them used. Hopefully, again, the pages aren't ripped out. Put your seatbelt on, cousin. Put your seatbelt on. Anywho, Ella, you got your notifications turned on? I know you sub, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, so what's this part two? I forgot where I left off at. Oh God, she done broke me and my mama's heart so bad. I probably just started anywhere. But according to reading, she hated me before I was born. Again, she used to really revere my mom. She's not gonna admit this, and that's fine. And she gonna call me a liar. And here's the thing: people will believe her over me, and she'll still be mad I'm telling my story. I'm like, well, if no one believes me, why would you? First, I don't have the courage to. No one has the courage to lie on her. Do you see her disposition? Who's really lying on her? And when it comes to lies, who would really believe the lies? Hers or mine? You know hers. Yes, very feral, very um they and she shows it as a narcissist in my readings too. But I know narcissism is an overused adjective term, but yeah, no, again, who would believe? Here we go. Allie Sinclair from Living Single telling her life story versus Omarosa blended with Nene telling hers. Who is gonna believe who in a world like this? Okay, all right. But you're my cousin. You know me, so it takes a lot of courage to tell your life story. Yeah, and think of school, Allie. Think of school. Did the bully ever wanted the bullied who he or she targeted to torment to tell the teacher or to tell anybody? Bullies always bully bookworms, and they bullied non-combatants. Just think of school. Yeah. Bullies have the same personality. And I learned this in psychology class. Psych 101, 102, and 301. The classes I took, okay, back in the day. Mm. Yeah. No. And then the poor bully don't even want to tell. Oh, oh, my former bestie was about it. So I didn't have but so many bad bullying moments throughout school. School in the same box. My bestie, my former bestie, she a Leo, Sagittarius Moon, Mars direct and Sag in the first house with the smoke. Scorpio ascendant, born warrior, but she's Sekhmet. Sekhmets are born to protect my odds. Why am I going through this? I'm supposed to be talking about LiB. It's LiB, but we're gonna do LiB because I don't know, my tongue seems to like saying LiB more because I'm cool with LiBs. Shout out to all the LiBs, especially the ones I know. Girl, how you doing? The singer, she's dope. And I should light a candle and get a cigar. Get in the mood. Oh, I took a nap and woke up. What is this again? 5:08, 8 August 20th, 2025. Great call, man. 5:00. Yeah, I took a nap and went all the way in and looked at a little bit of the boob tube too. I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to get comfortable, Allie. I'm trying to remember where I left off. I got stolen to figure out where I left off at. I don't want to be redundant. I already even told that share. But yeah, I just really looked up to LiB. She's not going to be ignored. She's not. I remember. Let me do this story really quick. Shout out to Swazi, my co-worker back in the day. This is, I think, it has got to be the early 2000s. But let me get to the while we excommunicated for 10 years in the 90s. Well, 1990. This is my mom's idea to move in. Mommy had co-signed. See, mommy's was with the American dream, a house, a car, a dog, which mommy wasn't into pets, but what the American dream was, the white picket fence, in a house with car. But mommy just like, equity, rent is a waste of money. And mommy would always espouse that and tell us to people, including her sisters. And in mommy's mind, if I do for you something that no one else has done, and you know where we come from, we lived in a one bedroom, six of us as kids, to mommy, that's a big deal. In her mind, someone had done that for her. Not that you got to kiss her ass, pause, because mommy didn't cuss, but that would be a big deal. So she's to prove her love, mommy provided. According to mommy, now this LiB and Margot has a totally different recall of their mom, but according to my mom, they weren't really raised with hugs. It wasn't, not demonstrative. From what my mother told me. So she didn't know how to do that either. But I think that could be a black family thing, not all, but most. I read Nathan McCall's memoir, Makes Me Want to Holler. He is sad. It's a fantastic memoir. And certain things stay with you. I've read thousands of books over my lifetime. And it's amazing what stains your memory versus what doesn't in a book, any given book. Textbooks too. Well, the college credits, I done earned 95 credits. Good Lord, I know 120 to graduate. So close we get so far. Girl, I exhausted all my financial. Never mind, I digress. But in any event, in his book, he wrote, love was understood, not expressed. Whoa. And I know that's a byproduct of the slave plantation. Because if you've shown your child too much love, according to study, you can look up Dr. Joy DeGruy. I love her studies, her work, post-traumatic slave syndrome. And I met her Libra lady. Before you could look up people birthday like you can, public figures' birthdays like you can now. I went to see her at Aya State in Queens election. I went up and asked her birthday. She was like, why? I'm like, oh, I'm an astrobuff neurologist. She said, oh, I'm a Libra. I said, oh, okay. And I darted off. Remember what Method Man said in the documentary, The Show? Was it The Show? Pisces, he is. Somebody came and asked him a question and got the answer and walked off. And he looked in the camera and said, see, y'all, that's how you do it. When you come up and ask us something, get your answer, your autograph, whatever it is you're seeking, and go on. Why are you lingering? I'm paraphrasing. He was like, why are you lingering? And I was like, ooh. Because when I used to do auditions in the 90s, I was pursuing that acting thing. Your sister can tell you, I used to go from the Poconos. When we lived in the Poconos, I rented the house they rented prior to getting theirs built. And, not I, Mickey, my husband back in the days in the 90s. And I used to take the Greyhound bus back to New York for audition. Never mind, I digress. But Madonna babysat. Oh, never mind. But it reminded me of one audition. One sister. Oh, I felt that she did the audition. You get up and go. It's one of them things we call you, don't call us. But she kept lingering. They didn't say linger, and the way they was treating her for lingering, no yelling or cussing at her, but I was like, oh. So I don't know if she was going through separation anxiety. The point is, no lingering. Don't. I'm like, okay, if I don't do something well, I detach well. I'm like, okay, let me go on and get to. How did I get to Method Man? Wait a minute. I'm drinking in the morning. I don't even drink in the morning unless I'm on vacation. I guess I'm trying to wind down. I was trying to be less hyperbolic. Oh God, Allie, I already know, but you know. But other ears. If you don't like Felix Unger, I've been called the female Felix, but messy like Oscar. The Odd Couple. Go and look it up. Not the Walter Matthau one. Tony Randall and Jack Klugman. So if Felix irritates you, go on and click off. Just go on and click off. But anywho, I wish I was clean and tidy like Felix. And my ex-husband used to call me that. This is not for me. He's like, you like the female Felix, but you messy like Oscar. It was a key to him until he married me and had to live in it. Shout out to Mickey. I digress. Anywho, how did I get the Method Man? Oh God, it gotta be the booze. Never mind. Back to LiB. Um, but I don't want to be redundant from the previous video. Okay, I don't think I should. Did I share about what she told my sister about my mom and my sister's father allegedly in Florida in the 80s, which is a lie from the pits of hell? Are you in contact with any of our cousins in Florida? Ask them, do y'all know the great aunt that willed her house to Mama? Yeah, I'm about to say my mama name. What's her name in my book? Ruby. Ruby for legal reasons. Mama Ruby, but they know the name. And they be like, yeah, what's up? Well, you want to know about that great ancestor, okay? How was her temperament? And you see if my mama would risk something like that. But mommy's ethics and her integrity, and she's independent. We had hotel rooms. There's no reason to do something like that in someone's house when you have a hotel room. If she didn't have a hotel room, she wouldn't. Mommy's code of ethics. Oh God, let's go on back to 19. I'm like, I'm on the phone with my sister. Like, you believe that? And the way my sister brought it up on the phone, she was like, "Mommy's tricky." I'm like, how? How? She's known for her integrity. Yes, my mom broke my heart, but it hurts so worse because she has integrity. But in psychic readings, I understanding what someone allegedly did behind the scenes with black juju, black magic. Yeah, never mind. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But according to the readings I sat for, I don't give a hoot and holler what hater don't believe. All the money I've been paid for readings. Oh, and no, they couldn't know these specifics unless they had to get through what reading, what they were doing. Mm-mm. Especially my Baba Ifa readings, that ain't even cards, okay? That's some sort of chain. Never mind. You probably already know. But anywho, so get into the point. Oh God, menopause. It's hot as a cootie brown. I need some Lydia Pinkham, I tell you. And they'll even tell you about some kind of patch. I'm like, there's a patch for menopause. Okay, anyway. 1990. I am pregnant. Very, very pregnant. This is 8 months. We had the conversation in the living room. No, dining room, me and mommy. And she was like, you got to start your own family. You don't think you want your own place? And I'm like, ugh. And then me and Mickey had broke up while I was pregnant because we were supposed to get married while I was pregnant, but they call it a shotgun wedding back then. And he backed out because his mama told, never mind, that's in the book. He got cold feet, uh, just jilted. Okay, is what I was, and I was like, my own place. And I was working for transit then, but I had stopped working because I was sick. Not morning sickness, morning, afternoon, and evening. I was sick all daggone day. Oh Lord, I'm asking that. I thought it was just in the morning. Oh yeah, just in the morning for 3 months. No, no, all day for 9 months. So I had stopped working, and I was home. But I was pretty much, a homebody to myself in the room. Just I couldn't eat anything. I lost weight pregnant. Oh God, Lord, I digress. But my point is, I was to myself. I'm not, hooting, hollering in the house. So I'm asking her, well, is it something I'm doing? No, no, no. I just think that, you're starting your family. You should have your own place. I'm like, well, I don't have the funds to do it. She was like, I can help you because I helped them. So I can definitely help my own child. I'm like, you can help me with an apartment. Now, the rent in New York wasn't in the 1990 like it is now, dear God. But it was still rent. It was what, one bedroom, maybe $600 or $700 then that I didn't have. I'm like, you can help me every month with that kind of rent. You got your own mortgage. And she was like, we're gonna figure this out. Because the good news is I helped my sister get a house and she's happy. She's look like more proud of this thing than they were. I'm like, oh, that's really nice, Mom. What she did is she co-signed. And your credit is on the line when you do that. And she put up G's at the closing. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. Da, 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 da. And this is not 1990 yet. This is around the holiday season of '89. She's telling me this. She said, yeah, I think you and baby daddy should get your own place, and I'm gonna take you over there. You can talk to your aunt. It's a 3-unit apartment like this: the first floor apartment, middle floor apartment, and top floor apartment. And per my recollection at this time, Margot took the top floor, and she was going to give me the middle floor. So I'm pregnant, so I have to walk up that high. But by the time we got there, she changed her mind. She took the middle floor and gave me the top floor because she said, well, you're young, you'll have the baby soon, and you're younger than I am, so you should be able to, have no qualms walking up to the top floor, which I didn't. Even pregnant, I didn't, I'm 20, I'm sick with the pregnancy, but I still have energy to get up to the top floor. And a very cute 1-bedroom apartment, very cute. And then I'll save that part for Margot's video, which should be next. I can just get through this one. Oof. But I don't know. Something happened with that before I got there. When I tell you every home girl, there's core home girls that you speak to every day anyway. Back then, we Gen X. Core home girls you speak to every day that know your family, especially oh, what's her name in the book? Shimon in the pseudonym in the book. That she lived in our house twice. She know the whole family, extended members and things of that nature. And she was like, "You want to live with your aunt? You sure?" And she had, get this, one aunt liked her. She was fond of this best friend. So it wasn't like she didn't like them. She just knows, she knows them. She was like, "You think that's a good idea?" I said, "Well, it's my separate apartment, but, if I stay up in my apartment, mind my business, what is the problem?" And she was like, "I don't know." And all the other friends met them at, family gatherings at Heckscher State Park. That's in Long Island back in the days. Mommy was always giving some sort of family function where my friends would come too, especially ones she's seen as family. Mommy was so friendly, it could be a casual friend. And that's another thing. Casual friends were calling me. Peripheral pals. Friends that don't call you like that. You just see them around the way. And you're just cool with them. You see them when you see them, it's all love and, it's cool. So they're calling me. And I'm like, what's wrong with y'all? And I'm getting offended on the phone like, I don't talk about y'all family. And they was like, we're not talking about your family, but I don't think you should move in with the aunts. And by this point, I'm like, I don't even think I have a choice. Mommy's facilitating this, and she's gun ho. She's saying family should have their own space. And to some extent, I agreed with that. Like, yeah, we are starting a family. Why not have our own space? But and then mommy's friends, Allie, when I tell you the calls were coming in as if I worked at a call center or something. selling. I don't know what was popular to sell back then. I don't like I was giving away something free. Like I was giving away free houses, something. They were calling in. A couple of mommy's friends called and was like, I don't know why your mother's friends who've met her sisters. I don't know why she wants you to move in with them. Now that I'm more into ether, I'm like, that was spirit pushing them. Yeah, shell loafing, I shell damari, I shell etrinelek, but I shell. That was spirit pushing those calls like that. Warnings, warnings, warnings. Oh gosh. One of mommy's now you're the friend like an Avon customer with a Jamaican accent. I'm not sure if she was Jamaican. She had a Caribbean accent, and I'm like, did you even meet my mom? I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone now. Did you even meet my mom's friends? I mean, my mom's sister. She was like, yes, once. Yeah, that was once too many. I'm on the phone like, I don't be talking about people, family like this. I'm on defense, Allie. On defense. I'm like this, and it's not even my personality to impugn or import myself in family matters of other families. That's how mommy raised me. Don't give unsolicited advice in general, but don't speak on someone's even if they're mad at their family member. Don't be like, oh yeah, honey child, she didn't. Mom said, don't do that. Because when they make up, they won't remember what the family member said. They'll remember all your responses to what they said. Mm-mm, mm-mm. She said, don't do it. Mm-mm. Even with best friends, not just family. So I knew that young not to be, so it wasn't karma that I was collecting on the phone, is what I'm trying to say. Because I didn't insert myself in people's family businesses like that. And the word kept spreading. Even dudes, I'm talking about real dudes, corner boys. It was like, you want to live with them ladies? I'm like, how do y'all know? I heard you moving out. You moving out, you leaving the hood. I'm like, I'm just going across town, the south side, where 50 Cent is from. That's where that house was. It's expensive now. I've looked it up on Zillow. Oh, God. I'm like, that's what they want for that house? Oh, Jesus Christ. It's huge, huge, chunky house, but I digress with the price of the house. But I couldn't believe all them calls telling me don't do it. Did I listen? But I don't even think I had a choice. Mommy was like, you're going over there, and that's where you're going to live in your own place. So, but part of me wouldn't have listened if I did have a choice, because I'm like, why can't I have my own place? What is wrong with everybody? This is my family. That was nobody but the Most High. It's like, all right. We tried to warn her. And I'm telling mommy, in real time back then, like they're telling me they don't think it's a good idea I move over there. And she was like, well, how? It's really none of their business. If you stay in your place and mind your business, you should be fine. I wish I had stayed in my place. But I think if according to the readings, they didn't like me as a baby, they didn't like me before I was born. If they, like with Uncle Ty and that assault by the ice cream truck, Arita said, oh, he wants you to go tell your father so your father can come see him. I'm like, at 5, I didn't have access to my dad. I wouldn't know where to go. And then I wasn't even a tattleteller. If I knew where my father was at, I'm like, I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell my big brother. I told no one till I told my memoir and these video bios here like this. What's they call this? Audio video something. In any event, I'm like, that wasn't even me. Oh my God. I'm a quiet kid. I'm near mute at 5. I'm gonna suddenly start talking. What? I spoke to a couple of peers in kindergarten. Kindergarten was precious. It was beautiful. Pre-K was cool too. Anyway, I wish I remember those teachers. One teacher I saw in my 30s. Oh God, she was just staring at me on the bus. I'm like, what's wrong with her? And this is Queens, so Harlem. We're from Harlem. I'm like, what is she saying? She was like, did you go to such and such daycare on 7th Avenue? I'm like, yeah, in the 70s. She was like, I'm Mrs. So and so, and she just hugs me. I'm like, oh, but it was a warm morning, and she just kept staring. But now I know taking psychology classes. When you know someone as a baby and you suddenly see them as an adult, you do stare like they're an alien or. Anywho, so all the warnings to not go in there, I went anyway. hmm And I had to. Mommy was like, what are you going to do? Not listen to your mama? What am I going to do? So I went. And then Matt, oh, did I say his name? Good. My older brother came to give me a TV, the housewarming gift. And he stayed with me a while upstairs and, brought me food. And And he looked at me. He was like, stay out of their places downstairs. And he's pointing downwards towards the floor for effect. Stay out of their places. Stay up here and mind your business. You could say, when you coming in, the door downstairs, be cordial. Good afternoon, good morning, but stay out of their spaces. And my mind, here we go again, the ego. Even bubbly, fun-loving people have egos. We all have egos. But my ego isn't, because Leo rules the ego. I have no Leo in my chart. And people who study like, well, Leo was the fifth house, what's in your fifth house? I assure you, what's in my fifth house does not help the ego, if you know what I mean. Aries is an ego thing because the head was ruled by Aries, and so the astrologer like, what is Aries doing? Whatever Aries is doing ain't doing enough for me to have an ego in all capital letters, punctuation mark, not punctuation, exclamation mark. So even though I don't have an ego like that, like a fire sign, whatever have you, I still felt that my big brother should be telling me what to do. I'm grown now with my own place. Just because you keep your distance from them and healthy distance, why are you still dictating to me? Even though 20 is young, but 20 is legally grown. I'm like, I'm grown, but I should have listened to him. God, I don't know. But like people say, if they didn't like you since babyhood, even if you stayed in your own place, something still would have went awry. They would have made it go awry. They don't like you. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I still wonder, had I listened to everybody and stayed away, would the chain of events played out like that? All right, Allie's like, you gonna get to the point? Anyway, so I'm there, Christmas season, and it was cold a lot, very cold in there. Keep that in mind. I mean, cold where you can see condensation coming out your mouth, the smoke when you talk. The baby shower was freezing. It was funny too. We were all bundled up, but I was calling people, warning them, wear sweaters, wear layers under your coat because we don't have heat right now. They was like, you giving a baby shower with no heat? Just, okay, I'm skipping over parts. Okay. So Thanksgiving felt like we were there too. I was definitely there Christmas, but it was just cold, and I don't even think they were there that long before I got there, because I remember mommy calling Margot often, recommending she gets Section 8 tenant, for guaranteed rent. And she's like, well, where would they go? Because all the apartments are taken. And she was like, well, why don't you just, move downstairs with LiB? And Margot was like, no, this is my place. I like my space. She's a loner. She reads books. Well, I get into her in her video. But she was like, I'm not moving downstairs with LiB. And I can. I'm pregnant, about to start a family up on the third floor. And then we had to get a cat. There was critters, and that's no diss. From the hood, there's critters. But I love that cat too. Peace sneakers. But anywho, I'm not even a cat person, but Margot is. And she's gonna bring her cat upstairs and meet my cat and hissing, talking about that cat. Her cat don't like my cat. I'm like, well, my cat is up here minding his business. Uninvited, you brought the cat up here. I'm thinking the part about the uninvited part. I'm like, what does make this make sense this moment? But it makes sense because you don't like me, so why would your cat like my cat? Never mind. No, I've never wronged these mean feral people. Would you wrong Shirley? And that Shirley and what's happening was much nicer than Margot to me. But I will give Margot this. She's generous. I didn't even see her grumpiness as being so foul because she's so generous. When I lived with her in Brooklyn, okay, I'm 2 weeks, mommy put me out because I was truant, and I'm scared. That'd be a Margot video. But anyhow, but we had fun. She will give you food money every day, where mommy gave me allowance once a week. I had to budget. Back to Southside Jamaica, Queens. So it's cold, and the critters, the cat helped with that, and my fiance at the time, he closed up the hole. We went look for the holes, and you close that up with liquid cement and pellets. What he put in there? The green pellet poison, the liquid cement, and broken glass. So he closed up all the holes, and we got the cat, so he fixed that problem. Shout out to Mickey, just really good with fixing things. And he would pay his share of the rent, and he had to put it under Margot's door, and she would yell at him He was like, why she's yelling at me for paying the rent? I'm like, I don't know. Well, that'd be in her video, but I thought it was a key. I'm not clowning her insolence, but who yells at people when they're getting rent money? I don't know who. And he has a good sense of humor too, so we took that in stride. But anyway, so we're upstairs and starting our new young life. He's 20 as well. We're the same age, and I just didn't listen. Your sister came by. She was over because I'm like, what would make me go downstairs? But the fun. See, LiB's house is a social hub. The fun house where people come over, usually friends of the cousins and things of that nature. Or your sister came over, and we're the same age. He's my peer, my contemporary, and I went downstairs to to chill with them and your sister is Shauna in the memoir because I'm legal reasons. I'm trying not to say their names. So Shauna, the pseudonym in the book. So I went downstairs and chilled with them, and we ordered pizza. We ordered pizza, and mommy calls to speak to Margot. What happened was, according to Margot, LiB wasn't paying her rent, and I think they both worked for transit at this time. So LiB couldn't understand why you're not paying your rent. You work for transit. Now I'm not sure if she was a motor person at the time. I'm not sure what, because they were getting promotions. I don't know what their position was in 1989 and 1990, and I stayed out of it. As long as my rent is paid, in my mind and minding my business. Let me tell you about the rent there. With one, the check came right in the mail, and we're in LiB's dining room. My mom was there too, and I think one of my former besties, she's Kia, pseudonym Kia in the memoir. There's people witnessing me hand Margot the check, plus the money order from baby daddy. They're witnessing this, and somehow she misplaced one of them, and told me, until she finds it, don't consider my rent paid. This is the energy coming in. This is the first money to give her. I'm like, but I have witnesses that seen it. And she was like, whose side you just peep it. Whose side you think they'll take? Yours or mine? Until I find it, don't consider your rent paid for this month. And I'm standing there staring like, I can't believe she's a Pisces. I'm thinking this. But I'm like, maybe it's a Sagittarian moon. No shade to Sagittarians, but I'm like, that's a fire sign thing. Pisces is compassionate. They know they got the rent. There's witnesses that seen them receive the rent. I don't know, but Pisces are chameleons as well because of the water and that. But I just was like, I couldn't believe it. So I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, remember you witnessed me hand her the check, and she was like, yeah. I'm on the phone, but she misplaced it. This is not me guessing. She's saying she can't find it, and she's projecting that on me, like I'm the one who lost the check. She was like, oh, don't worry, just pray for her to find it. Just pray for her to find it. And LiB told me, well, just help her look for it. I'm like, I'm not going upstairs in her place looking through her things with her. And she uninvited. I'm supposed to go in there and help her look for it. This is, Allie, put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. Your emotional seat. This is the logic, okay? One therapist said, compare it to like a racist. Racists don't like us, and I don't even know if a pale racist would say, I lost a check, and until I find it, consider your rent unpaid. I guess maybe. It depends on what kind of racist we're talking, what era. Your mistake is someone else's fault. But you're like, well, did she find it? She did. Thank God. Because what does that mean? Consider it unpaid. I got to pay it twice for the same month? And my friends was like, well, just let her take you to court for that month. Let's see what the judge say. I'm like, I don't even want to go through all the court things. This is ridiculous. Anyway, giving you the type of energy going in, all right? So, holiday season seemed quiet, and the energy in the place was dank and dull. I don't remember if LiB was there, either Christmas or Thanksgiving. It don't seem like she was there. Maybe she got invited someplace else. And then Margot seemed grumpy. And I was like, come on, let's get in the spirit. Let's make fun. Let's have fun. Let's go to mommy's house and stuff. Because my mama had the food and everything, lights and candles and things of that. You know, when I used to really celebrate it back in the day. You know, let's come on, let's have fun. And I'm trying to get it going. And I think me and I went to my friend Kia's house too. And if I remember correctly, her daughter was with me. And she's Joni, pseudonym Joni in the book. So, let's just make it fun. So, you try to force the fun or whatever have you. This is another day. Oh, back to the day when your sister came over. I went downstairs to chill with them, and I took my Minute Maid fruit punch with me. Why did I do that? I don't know. And I don't even mind sharing. I don't come from mommy was in the food police. You come over, you carte blanche, you can have food, you can drink, just wash your hands and then help yourself. So I wasn't raised in that type of scarcity mindset. So I wouldn't mind sharing the fruit punch, but the whole thing is gone. It just gone. I'm skipping, let me get to the point. So I put it in the refrigerator and went in the dining room and chilled when everybody was talking. And the mood seemed fun and gaiety. It seemed like a nice mode. Everybody was in, and it was the Essence magazine. I think Oprah was on the cover. Don't quote me if she's on the cover. Just had an article inside. But that was the day because one of my former teachers wrote that Essence magazine. Shout out to Miss Aisha Grice. She wrote that column for 20 something odd years. She was the one who told us in the class, somebody bought Essence magazine, I'm losing my job. We was like, after 2 decades? I just stopped listening. I stopped buying it after that. No shade Essence. Well, now with the Essence Fest in New Orleans and carrying on out the child. But I was like, I haven't bought Essence in years anyway, so they fired my teacher. My teacher's teacher was Isabel Hickey. Allie, get that astrology book by Ashe, Mama Isabel, by Isabel Hickey. Oh, goodness. So, any event, now how did I get to astrology? Oh, I was in LiB's house reading the Essence. I said, oh my goodness, Oprah's an Aquarius. And how I pronounced it, LiB started she sternly corrected pronunciation. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking, I don't think Oprah would mind, not to this damnable degree. And then she spoke with a lisp. LiB spoke with a lisp and things of that nature. Not saying she had bad diction. Her diction was fine, especially if she's not angry. But once she started getting angry and started stuttering and the lisp, and I'm like, I'm just thinking somebody with a lisp should have compassion for anyone who mispronounced something. Or you could correct them with that harshly. And get this, she didn't even like Oprah. Because I'm like, well, is she a fan of Oprah? Now, I think Oprah's phony. I was like, oh, all right. So I guess it was just an opportunity seized to correct the niece she hates. And I'm not just saying hate from mistreatment. She yelled it on August 18, 2003 to the top of her lungs. Did I ever finish that one? I was supposed to say that one yesterday. Was it the 19th or 18th of 2003? One of them. Today is what, the 20th? One of those days. I got to get to that too. I wanted to finish that part up yesterday. Anywho, so I'm like, all right. So I closed the magazine. I was finished with it. And that's when mommy called her out. And then she's talking to Margot again about getting a Section 8 tenant so you have guaranteed rent from the city. Because little do I know, I don't know if she's not paying the mortgage in full. I don't know. But mommy feared foreclosure because that ruins your credit. But in the moment, I didn't know mommy co-signed in that moment and paid G's at the closing. I didn't know. Mommy thinks she's helping her sister, not doing it because she wants them to kiss her ass. No, in her mind, black families should stick together. That she thinks she's helping. So Margot's credit. She was being respectful as she could on the phone, but you could tell she's irritated because she's like, I don't want to live with strangers, and I'm not moving down here with LiB. It looked like they were playing cards too, if memory. Part of my patches are memory patches. They were doing something at the table. I don't know if it was cards, because I was sitting on either a chair or couch off from the table. And it felt like it was a non-family member in the midst. I don't know if that was Joni. Joni is her pseudonym in the book. I don't know if that was one of Joni's friends, but it looked like a pretty people dining room. So I'm feeling away because my mom because LiB is being dismissive, telling Marco, just hang up, just hang up, just hang up. And I know my mom could hear that in the phone, but I'm sure she knows LiB's temperament. Just hang up the phone. You already explained to her we don't want strangers in here, and she keeps suggesting the Section 8. Back then, she cursed. LiB used to cuss like a sailor, and she's still suggesting and recommending this Section 8 bullish and da da da. Hang up, hang up, hang up. And to Margot's credit, she was hesitant to just blam. This is not a cell phone. This is 1990 or 89. Did Christmas pass? It could have been January 90. This is a phone where if you hang up, you hear it. A cell phone, you don't really hear it. It's not the same effect. Back in the days, blam, you would hear getting hung up on. And that's not mommy's style, nor her karma to receive. I don't think I ever heard my mother hang up on someone. And back then, you would hear it throughout the house. It's that type of loudness, you know. So it wouldn't even be her karma to receive that type of ending on a phone call. So Margot was like, I'll try to call you back later, you know, just to get off the phone as politely as she could. And that's most mommy, blessings be upon your soul, mommy. When she gets an idea, she really, really, I guess that's how we got to move to Queens. 11 months in the projects. You know anybody who did under a year in the projects and left willingly and in good standing with night shift when they come do the walkthrough at the end? Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, you get the idea. And shout out to Miss Paula, who helped mommy with getting to Queens, her co-worker. Mommy's like, I can't afford a house. She's like, yes, you can. You got good credit. Mommy at the job, like, well, what's that? Oh, shout out Miss Paula. I love you. Yeah, she taught mommy all the ropes and it didn't throw it up in her face. She's an Aquarius. Didn't throw it up in mommy's face later, like, I'm the one who helped you get the house. And there's some people who help you and we want you to kiss their ass forever. Forever. And mommy will thank you with a gift. Not always an Avon gift, like a gift. Mommy will thank you tangibly, not just words. Especially with something that major. You helped me get this house. You facilitated, you know. Anyway. Hi, Allie, you like it with this background music? I don't know, it's sort of irritating me. But I don't know how to get out the screen and get back to that. Let me just keep going. So, I took offense to that, and I hated that I did. It's not like me. It's probably part of my zodiac sign. I am numb when my sign rules math and numbers. So you see how numbers is spelled? You see the word numb in there? So when things don't add up math, when things doesn't add up, when things do not add up logically, we go numb. It's involuntary. Numb, aloof, distant. It's just like, what is this? It doesn't add up logically. So we usually just go numb, stoic, poker face. We just don't, but emotional. We don't mix logic and emotions. We just don't do it. But I guess because they're family and I cared about them, I thought they cared about my mom, the matriarch. You know, what the psychic said about that. Oh, the readings are coming back. Or she didn't want your mother to be the matriarch. She wants to be the matriarch. I'm at the table like, huh? And mommy's not even a bully, not towards the siblings. Like, never mind. But anywho, allegedly. But it's a psychic reading for entertainment purposes, only legal, okay? So I spoke up. I defended my mom. Wouldn't you defend your mama? They would defend their mama. So I spoke up and I said something along the lines of, the next time my mom is trying to help somebody, I'm gonna tell her don't even waste her time. Okay, keep her suggestions and opinions to herself. So I spoke up for my mom, not in ratchet viciousness, but you know, just she need not, because again, in that moment, I don't know, she co-signed for the house and paid the payees at the closing. So I don't know, I didn't know in that moment that she had a financial stake in the mortgage being paid on time. I didn't know. So that's why I kept saying, you know, she shouldn't, dole suggestions and recommendations unsolicitedly. I thought I was speaking pretty, cool. LiB started slamming her open palm down on her own table. Stay out of it. And she held that same stance in 2003 or 2002 when she was like, you should have stayed out of it. And I'm like, well, what was it? Stayed out of Margot and your mother's business with that house. I'm like, well, how did I put myself in it? When I defended my mother's honor, it wasn't really about the house. I just said she shouldn't give suggestions and recommendations unsolicited. See, I document my life. I took journalism in high school, yes, but my fifth grade teacher told the class, write in your diary every day and then read about yourself on New Year's Eve. She was like, I don't care if you had a boring day, document your day daily. On New Year's Eve, read your diary to yourself. That's how you'll get to know yourself. And we're 10, we little kids, like every day? She said every day. So then when I work in law enforcement, you got that, that pad that's in their back pocket. You got to document your patrols. I was a wizard. I'm like, oh, I document my day anyway. I was a wizard taking reports because that's what I do. So I don't know. I shouldn't have said anything, but I don't know. People still was like, well, they hate you so much they would have made something happen if you did stay upstairs quiet. So I'm like, ugh. But I defended my mom, which most people do that love their mother, and it went haywire from there. It went downhill from there because she was banging her table, shutting me down, and her daughter mocked her because I'm sitting there like, what the hell? I defend my mom. When you defend your mom, if someone was being dismissive with her, but when her daughter's this is 89, 90. I think she's in high school. Because you know what? I had a wonderful, it'll be in Cousins, but I had one beautiful moment with Joni up in my third floor apartment then. It was beautiful. It was. I didn't know she'd noticed the shoe. I guess she got the shoes for free after all. But she wanted to borrow my big head shoes to wear to school. I'm like, those are house shoes. I used to dance in them at the club. That's house music shoes. Like the big clown shoes with the Mary Jane with the mirrored toe. I can't explain them. I bought them in the village. But I was like, you like shoes like that? You dance? You like house music? She know what the hell I was talking about. You like house music? I said, we dance in those. Oh my goodness. But in any event, but it was a beautiful moment we had. That'd be in the Cousins video. But other than that, I didn't really have conversations with my cousin. The age difference, I was supposed. And then their mother hated me. Well, my mama don't like you, why would I? And that's logical. There's a built-in bias there. But anywho, whew, and I wasn't even raised like that. Mommy never said don't like the person because I don't like them. Mommy rarely voiced who she didn't like. If she came out and said I don't like him, it'll stun the room. Like, you dislike somebody? We all like turn to her in one, unison. Like, you dislike people? Like, it had to be really bad for her to finally mention something like that. But in any event, so her daughter mocked her. Joni started hitting the table. You just echoing her mother's words, like, and laughing. And I'm like, she has the courage to mock her mother's insolence. Insolence. The word I'm saying. It's INSOLE. It's insolence. Why I can't pronounce these words? I think my tongue too thick and I'm drinking. But anywho. So I'm looking at Jody like, wow, you have the courage to mock your mom? Or are you mocking the fact that I'm startled by this moment? I don't know. As if like y'all, it's like y'all silly be scared of my mama. I don't know what the energy was, but I'm like, ooh, that's my cue. Let me get the hell out of here. So I went on upstairs to the third floor to my own place. And then I got up there and said, oh God, I forgot my juice. So I called down to LiB's apartment praying she ain't answer the phone, and she didn't. Somebody else did. I was like, can you put Shauna on the phone, your sister? And I was like, Shauna, you spending the night? Or you going back uptown? She was like, no, I'm gonna stay. I'm like, if you don't mind, can you bring my juice, my fruit punch out the refrigerator? I forgot it in the fridge. And she was like, all right. And we hung up the phone. That fruit punch never came upstairs. It just never came upstairs. But a call did happen a little later on, and it was like, the pizza's here. I'm like, oh, okay. So I come on downstairs to get my pizza that I paid for. Yes, I added extra cash for the tip. Some people who read memoirs, they need details like that. Well, did you pitch in for the tip? Yes, I paid for my pizza, and I paid my percentage for the tip, the delivery person back then. We didn't have DoorDash or Uber Eats. Like the delivery person worked for the restaurant itself. What am I acting thinking Allie don't know this stuff from but you were just a baby then, maybe you don't know. But in any event, so I noticed what they're doing in the dining room when I walk in, Allie. Everybody is not, keep it from my recollection. She already had her own personal pan of pizza. LiB. She already had her personal pan of pizza. but everybody was giving her a slice of theirs. And for some reason, I thought about, those mafioso Italian movies where people send money back home to the old world, to their not ancestors, because that's when you exit your husk, but to the elders of the family. They send, and to me, it warmed my heart, and I smiled. I'm like, oh, like she could have made a whole new round of a pizza with everyone giving her a slice of theirs. She could have made a whole new pizza round. I kid you not, 12 slices, whatever gave me. Anyway, so I picked up my pan and went on towards her refrigerator to get my fruit punch. I just figured maybe a sister didn't want to climb the steps, or it was an oversight. I don't know. I didn't put too much analytical power into it, and I overanalyzed. But I didn't that. I'm like, maybe she just feel like coming upstairs. So I'm going to get the fruit punch, and she says my name and go, "Why didn't you give me a slice?" And I turned around, and I'm thinking she's mad at me. I'm thinking excommunication already done kicked in. Because the way she was yelling, how to stay out of Margot and my mom's business, and yelling at me in front of all those people, family and unfamily, non-family. I'm like, oh, she's speaking to me? Because I'm thinking, I honor boundaries. I'm like, but you're in her place. How you honoring the boundary? But I had to go get the pizza I paid for. But if you're not speaking to me, I'm not going to force talk on you. That's what I'm saying here. So she was like, I said, huh? She said, you didn't give me a slice of your pizza. I'm like, but you have so many slices already. Yeah, but I don't have none of yours. She may not remember this. She'll say the whole thing is a lie. But study the Art of War, read the Book of the Five Rings, look at Uncommon Warfare on the History Channel. That's what the Art of War tells you. All war has deception in it. I'm not at war with her. This is all projection. Me recalling the things projected on me. I am too bubbly to be a warmonger. I'm not big and bad. I'm big and bubbly, is what they told me back in the day in the hood. But any event, so I'm thinking about what I done read in the Art of War. And this ain't no audio books back then. You got to sit and read that stuff. I'm like, this is the Art of War. It's all built in deception. Because there's no reason she needed a slice of my pizza. Somebody already gave her the flavor I had. Because I'm looking at the pizza on the table. I'm looking at all the pizza on the paper plate multiple paper plates are sitting there. I'm like, you want a slice of mine? She already had my flavor. So it can't be like, oh, you have a different flavor. I think maybe somebody have pineapple? I don't know. But I see the pepperoni on the doggone table. You don't need mine. So I'm looking like, oh God, I hope my ex-husband is not hearing this. He's like, so you ate pepperoni pregnant with my child? He don't eat pork. He went to a Muslim school in Brooklyn. I went into labor arguing about salami with him, talking about they don't make beef salami. I'm like, yes, they do. Just I want to argue with you about salami. Never mind. Never mind me and Mickey at 20. All right, so, oh Lord. No, I'm 21 by this chance. This time I think he was still 20. Never mind, I digress. Anywho, so I'm saying to her, but I'm being as, gingerly as I can, because powder cake is a powder cake. I'm like, but you have so many slices already. I'm pointing to the table to show the pizza, for effect. And she's like, yeah, but I don't have a slice from you. And I'm looking at the table. This is psychological warfare, because you didn't need a slice from and I'm not being selfish. I was bewildered. You need another slice of pizza, and everybody done already gave you that. I calmly went into my box. I got a paper towel. Let's keep it hygienic. And I took the piece and put it on the table with the next to all the other donated slices of pizza. And I just was like, okay. And I about face and went to the fridge, and my fruit punch was not there. It wasn't there. I'm like, that's strange. It was my Minute Maid. And I don't want to talk to her, because it's a weird psychological thing going on here. So I asked Shauna, you seen the fruit punch? She was like, oh God, I forgot to bring it up. My bad. I'm like, but do you see where it's not in the fridge? She was like, oh, you got me. And she looks sincere, like she had no idea where the fruit punch went. I go to look at the top of the garbage can, and the empty fruit and punch container was there. And I'm thinking, who could drink a whole gallon of fruit punch that quick? We're talking about a new thing, a half gallon of Minute Maid fruit punch. I'm like, how did you drink it that fast? I didn't inquire. I didn't argue. I went on up there onto the third floor to my place. That was it. And luckily, I had one juice upstairs. So, just enjoyed my pizza best I could. Hopefully, I'll hold it down, share the pizza with my cat. Gave him some of the pepperoni. And, called it a night. Hold on. Hold on, cuz. Oh, Lord have mercy. Papa, you up? Hi, good morning. Good morning. I woke up. I had some of that coconut cake in the fridge. It's delicious. I was afraid it would be dry, but it's moist. Squeeze some key lime on the coconut cake. Absolutely delicious. I don't forgot where I bought it from. That's always the thing. I get something good, but where did we buy this from? Oh, Lord. Okay, where was I? The pizza, the cat now. Yeah. So, Mickey gets in from work. So, he must have been doing it the 4 to midnight shift or 3 to 11 because he gets in from work. And I don't recall telling him what happened, but I don't know. I had to have briefly told him about the evening. My mom being dismissed on the phone and her spazzing out on me for defending my mom's honor for being treated with a dismissive handle. And maybe I did. Well, it's common to talk to your person, your mate, your boyfriend, your spouse, pillow talk, and that's common. But haters make you feel bad for telling your person your business. That's it. Haters' logic is strange. But if they told their man their business and you took arms with it, they'd be like, well, what's the problem? He's my man. I can talk to him. We share our personal life. Huh? So the double standard is weird. But anywho, so I'm thinking I had to have told him, but I don't really recall because I'm sleepy when he gets in at that hour and just, I don't know, groggy. But somehow he must have known, and I'm going to tell you why. We wake up and to the phone ringing in the bedroom. This is a landline, not cell. And that phone rung loud in the bedroom. And we woke up and he answered it. No, before he got in from work. No. Okay, no. He answered it because I'm like, did I answer it? No, he answered it. And I can hear him talking because I'm groggy. I can hear him talking. And he goes, this is morning hours. I would say maybe 7:30. It's daylight outside for sure. 7:30, 7:30, I should say that one. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, that came out as a natural. I don't know if you know the colloquialism. The millennials know the colloquialism for 7:30. Y'all must, because Kanye West called himself 1460. I digress. He's a talented man. I digress. So I hear him saying, I gotta work later. And then you can hear her now saying, "Oh, we'll be back before you got to go to work. Don't worry." And I'm thinking, I'm groggy. Like, what is this? What is going on? He holds the phone, his palm over the mouthpiece of the phone, and he looks at me and says, "This is your aunt." And I'm like, "Which one?" And he was like, "Who else?" Because Margo ain't sitting there asking for nothing. He had to fight to get for the rent money. No, wait till I get to Margo City. Oh, Lord have mercy. In his head, he was like, "Who else?" And he said she wants me. He's mouthing it and keeping his tone low because she's a powder keg. She wants me to drive her to Manhattan, and he worked in Manhattan at the time. I'm like, when? Right before you go to work? He was like, no, now. I said, but you need your rest. He said, I told her I have to work, but she said we'll be back. That it'll be really quick. And then he looks at me. I get it now because he's 20, but in the moment, and my therapist was like, well, men don't mature as fast as women, and maybe he didn't get it. But I'm thinking in the moment, he wanted me to tell him no, so he can get back on the phone and say, well, Nandy said no, and da 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 da. Yeah, she said no, to blame it on me. So I'm looking at him, and I overthink it. Even then, I'm just overthinking. I'm looking at him like, you're asking me, what do I want you to do? What do you want to do? I'm thinking he'll be loyal because he already know what went down with the pizza and me defending my mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he'll be a loyalist. Everybody was so scared of her. Probably baby daddy too. Why am I saying probably? I don't know. Oh God. But just, oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm like, well, what do you want to do? He gets back on the phone and go, give me a minute to get in the shower. And get off the phone. I am looking at him. Yes, he takes showers before when he gets in from work at night. Um, you gotta wash the day off your back when you get in, but you gotta take one in the morning to wake you up. That's what he used to tell me. But in any event, I'm looking at him in bed like, you're gonna take her. She's never asked you to drive her anywhere, but today she's asking you to drive her all the way to Manhattan. Her transit pass, and we work for transit, you get a pass to ride for free. I'm like, her transit pass is not working anymore. He was like, I don't know. Why don't you ask her? No, you should ask her. She's asking you to drop her to Manhattan. Is she going to even give you gas money? Because Virgos tend to be, no, I'm not dissing all Virgos as being cheap. I'm sorry. There's some cool Virgos that have enough conscience to give gas money driving away from Queens to Manhattan. Oh, Lord. But I hope my astrology stuff don't spill out too much because I want to fit nice Virgos. I don't. I really don't. So I'm asking him, will she even give you gas money? He was like, I don't know. And then just looking sheepish, I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be my baby daddy. Oh God. So I just turned away, turned my back, and just tried to get more sleep best way I could. And he was off to the shower, the bathroom. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe. I said, this has nothing to do with no Manhattan. She's letting me know that if you call yourself excommunicating me, your man ain't excommunicating me. Let me prove it. It's a very Virgonian. Just look up the dark side of Virgo. I like Rashina. How you say her name? Rastaban is the last name. She is sad. Is it Rashiba? All them channels, not all. Oh God, Alyssa Sharp. There's good ones. The dark side of Virgo females. Go on and look it up. Go if you think that go on and look it up. Okay, go on and look it up. Now, those who study Ifa, you know Etu aligns with Virgo, and you know what he's called in Ifa. But his is sacred. It's they call him the divine trickster, the holy Elegba and Etu, the holy trickster. There's books on it. But being that he aligns with Virgo, Elegba aligns with Gemini. Okay, never mind. You study Ifa, you know what it is. Even if you are crowned, if you initiate under, this is what was taught to me. Different schools of thought. If you initiate with Etu, you would have to get Elegba on your head because Etu is too strong to put on the head. Is what was told to me. To give you an idea of Virgo having power, misplaced power, they don't know what to do with it. It's ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So they're very mercurial, which could be neurotic, uh, just neuroses. The downside, we all have a shadow side, each sign, high and low. You know what I'm saying? Biorhythms, okay? So when you look into that Echo thing, you be like, oh, that's why Virgos do that. That's if you study Ifa in astrology. You be like, this is why Virgos do that. Oh, and nothing against Echo. Echo, I love you. I love him. I love Echo. Oh Lord. But okay, back to that moment. So he's in the shower, and I get on the phone. Virgo rules cats, domestic pets, period, 6th house. But she's the one who taught me about cattiness. She's the first to teach me about cattiness and women. So just because mommy go, can you say something good? And my mom will say, you said anything good? You know, that balance thing, you know, the Libra thing, balancing. So she's the one who told me about catty women and, you know, and how you should respond to that. And, you know, back when I thought we had a good rapport. I used to look up to her. I'm like, oh, I apologize to my young self. I looked up to the wrong people. Dear God. But anywho, I looked up to my mom at first, and then that whiz ticket, everything shifted. It really shifted after her second husband violated me. Lord have mercy. Anywho, so while he's in the shower with baby daddy, I call her downstairs. I'm like, you asked Mickey to take you to Manhattan? Yeah, and I'm like, well, real sanctified. I'm like, that early in the morning, sanctified? Oh, Lord. This is what I'm thinking. Like, she gonna be like that in the car with him? Oh, gosh. I don't know. He's such a sensitive soul, you know? So I'm on the phone like, well, you know I want nothing to do with you ever again. This is it. This is, I don't know what kind of manipulation this is. I'm surprised I had the courage to say that to her at 20. And I was calm, but I was like, I don't know what kind of manipulation this is. I don't know what this is, but I do read a lot of books. And the psychology books I've read, this is not good. So I don't know about him, but going forward, we're excommunicated. And she was like, and then she was calm because I was prepared for the powder keg and the yelling and the cussing, the names. I was all prepared for it. So I'm bracing myself for the volumes, the decibels, you know what I'm saying? The dissonant decibels, you know what I'm saying? So I'm bracing myself, and she was very calm, which was scarier because she's not usually calm when she's mad. So she was like, are you sure about that? It was ominous. Allie, I looked at the phone, put it back to my ear, looked at the phone again, put it back to my ear. She was like, are you sure about that? She asked again. And I'm on the phone, yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. Because I don't like the manipulation that I said. She was like, okay. I know me. And this is before I saw the episode when Dr. Maya Angelou was in the episode of Oprah. No, I'm like, Oprah could get in Dr. Maya's bed like that. The quality. They're friends, well, close friends. She was like a daughter. Oprah said she feels like my surrogate mother. That is the best thing, in my opinion, aside from the money. I don't even see the best things Oprah having is all that money and power. Dr. Maya Angelou saw you as a daughter. You can go to her house in North Carolina and chill like that. I'm telling you. The best thing Mary J. Blige got to me is her closeness to Lauryn Hill, that beautiful bond. The priceless stuff, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, sip. But this is before we heard Dr. Maya Angelou say, when someone tells you who they are, believe them. When they show you who they are, believe them. Paraphrase. So she's on the phone saying, I know myself. I know me. So you're sure that's what you want? Because aren't you about to have a baby shower up there? So now I know we're in 1990. It felt like we started planning the shower after New Year's. Mommy and Charlene, my sister-in-law, planned the baby shower. So I'm on the phone feeling very, very weirded out. And she's like, are you sure you're not speaking to me? Because your doorbell is broke. And my friends was like, well, how did the doorbell break? I'm like, no, it was broken before I got here. They was like, mm-hmm. I'm like, no, because Margot had this apartment. She decided to take the one downstairs. So I don't think no one deliberately broke the doggone doorbell. You know what I mean? I don't think so. But my friends, they didn't want to tell. We told you not to. That I told you so phone calls that came through, and that's before the burglary, before I got robbed. This is just after the pizza and the ordeal with my baby daddy driving her to the city. Oh, Jesus. So I'm on the phone and she's telling me to keep that in mind because I have a baby shower coming up and my doorbell don't broke. She was like, how they gonna get in here? They better not ring my doorbell. And she said it, I can't even match how dark and demonic this sounded when she said they better not ring my doorbell. And ringing Margot's the middle bell ain't gonna be no better because she could be grouchy and grumpy too. So yes, the invites done already went out by now. So I had to call everybody on the guest list and tell them do not ring any doorbell. Try to find little pebbles of this is a key to all my friends. This shit, and two of them wanted to get LiB back from. Lord, did I tell you about the Colgate Avenue? Oh God, we'll get to that in a minute. Two of my friends was like, we ready for her. Like, as a teenager, you're a teenager. Like, when I get grown, I'm gonna get that person. Some teenagers think like that, Lord Jesus. They was like, no, we ready for her. I'm like, no. And one of them was pregnant. I'm like, you're pregnant. And she was like, from the Bronx. She was like, and? I'm like, no, no. They were like, let her come to the door with that bullshit. Well, one is from Harlem, one is from the Bronx. These friends from high school. In the book, they're Bobby and Kyle. Anyway, they was like, no, no, we ready for her. We ready for her. I'm like, no, no, no. Do not ring them doorbells. Neither one. I tell them to travel with pebbles and throw it up at the third floor. I'll be in the living room. I'll be looking out the door, out the window periodically. You know, I'll come down and let you in. They was like, you big pregnant. You going to be up and down the steps letting people in all night? I'm like, I will figure it out. Just do not ring their doorbells. This is what I had to do for the baby shower, Allie. Allie, you was at my baby shower. Oh, your mom and Shauna came on up. And your mom was like, why didn't you invite me? I'm like, I didn't think you would want to come. I'm thinking she's siding with LiB and them from. I'm getting to that, Lord Jesus. Back to him in the shower. He gets out the shower, and I could see him looking at me while I'm pretending to be sleeping. And then he's going to say again, you sure you want me to go? I'm like, I didn't want you to go. You want to go. No, I asked you, what do you want me to do? I get it now, he's only 20, but in the moment I'm like, what? So I don't want me and him to start arguing, because that's probably what LiB would want. So I'm like, just don't talk to me, just please. Oh yeah, back to the call. Me and her she got off the phone with me, blam, where you could hear it hang up. And now I'm thinking about the baby shower, and I'm telling him I don't want to argue. I gotta try to deal with my baby shower guests. I don't want to argue with you. I just don't, okay? So he gets himself ready. He goes downstairs and he takes her to Manhattan. I can hear the car pull off and everything. And I don't know. I became emotional. I didn't want to cry because I think that's what she would have wanted. And my friends was like, why didn't you ride with them? I'm like, I didn't want to be around her. No, and her ego's not going to get in the back seat. They're like, and my friends were like, she would have to. That's my man car. That's my man. And I'm like, no. Mm-mm. Her ego ain't fit to get in that back seat. And I didn't have my driver's license to do that. I wouldn't be driving her, Mrs. Why am I thinking of Mrs. Daisy? Mrs. Dissonance. I wouldn't be driving her no how. If I had my license then, I'm just, no. When I tell you, that was one hell of a day I was so mad at baby daddy. Because I'm thinking nothing should come between us. You should have told her no. What are you looking at me saying, what do you want me to, what do you want me to do? So you get back on the phone and tell her, oh, Nandy said no. What? What do you want to do was my response. He gonna tell her, give me a minute, I gotta get in the shower. So that's what you want to do? I'm getting mad all over again, and we've been divorced for years, decades, okay? But anywho, so while he's gone, of course, I'm 20. I'm on the phone to all my homegirls telling them what happened. And they was like, she probably had to do it in Manhattan. And they was like, well, don't she work for transit? Y'all ride for free. Why she just take the train and bus like she normally would? I'm like, because this is some kind of psychological something. Like, I have access. You think you can tell your man what to do? No, I can tell him what to do. This is something else. I don't think it has anything to do with the city. I don't. So I'm like, he need to go back home with his mama, okay? He need to get out and go back to his mama's house. So the key for my apartment, yes, I know he paid the rent. I know that. But in that moment, I'm angry. Go stay at your mama's. He kept the key separately from my place than he did for his regular keys. And this is why I don't like he told a fib downstairs. I can tell. Mickey, you know you did. My apartment key was always separate from his keys for his house with his mom. We lived there. And the car key. And the keys he had for Con Ed, his job. All that was sort of separate, I guess, so he can make the distinction. When I saw my key, I kindly took it back. I did. And my brother helped me. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Well, I didn't say which brother. We were like, well, one was was he even born? One brother wasn't born yet. We're in 1990. And the other one was too little. Never mind. Y'all do y'all own math. But one brother helped me. And he'll never tell. Yeah, Pisces, y'all dope. He's not gonna tell. He's never ever gonna tell. But I left. I went to my mom's house. I locked up. I fed my cat and kissed him, and went to my mom's house. I think I took a cab. We could walk to the cab stand, take a cab, and I went to my mom's house because I didn't want to be back. I didn't want to be there when he comes back. I surely didn't. Nah, you stay downstairs and get ready for work down there. That was my mentality. I was young, and it was what it was. I was angry, and I didn't want to argue with him there because I think, in my opinion, she would have got off on that. That we're arguing. I just was like, let me just go to my mom's. So he came back, sure enough, and he started calling my mom's house. And when no one's there, who's gonna, mommy worked for the phone company. She had call ID and all that stuff real early. She had all them gadgets early. So I could see it's her number. I'm not picking up. But once people started coming home to my mama's house, of course they're gonna answer the phone and call me to the phone. I'm like, I'm not talking to him. I'm not talking to him. And then he's downstairs with LiB and them. So now they're calling to defend him. And my mom is like, "Where's this?" And then mommy's coming at me because she can't take the heat from my sisters and them. And it wasn't Margot calling. It was LiB. And one time your mom got on the phone, and I thought that was rare. I'm like, her name is Lydia in the book. I'm like, oh, Lydia, you don't get involved in stuff like this. What is? And she was like, but this boy got to go to work. Why don't you come back here and let him in so he can go to work? He got a shower. And I'm like, there's showers he can shower downstairs. No, but he said he has to get things for his job up there, his keys. And I'm like, I'm not coming back there. I don't want to see him. And no. So I did give your mom, I got on the phone for your mom, but I wouldn't get on the phone for LiB. And she was cussing and carrying on like it was her job that she was gonna miss going to work for him. And he's like, I gotta call out now and miss work. And I'm like, you should have thought about that. Oh, you're being vindictive. And I'm like, because I used to look up to her. I'm like, and I learned from the best. I learned from the best. She's in the background yelling like a banshee. Who's the best? Who's the best at being vindictive? What is she trying to say? And I mean, just crazy. And then I don't know. My mom and I at you in the leg bar. They rule keys. Hubby is at you. He's at you. I think he's Ogun to a hard worker, but I don't know. Mommy was like, I have keys here. You can come and see if they can help you with your job because he's trying to get to work. I'm like, you letting him come here? Well, he has to shower. He has to do. I'm like, he go to his mama house and shower. And Conrad replaced those keys. He got to pay $100, I think, for one each key. Mommy's like $100 for each key. Girl, if you don't go home and get that man his key, I don't know, some kind of price, something they take out your check when you lose stuff. I don't know, because he's yelling at stuff, and I'm oh god. And my mom was like, you want him to pay consequences for taking her to the city. This is what this is about. No, this is me. No, there's a consequence for being disloyal in your relationship. That's what this is about. And mom's like, but men don't mature that fast. He needed you to say, don't take her. You didn't tell him you didn't give him a directive. Why would he need one? Never mind me and mommy going back and forth. So she's inviting him over to shower and get her. Mommy got keys and keys, like big tubs of keys downstairs in the basement. I'm like, where does this come from? She's like, I think it came with the house. I'm like, oh Lord, this must be Etchu's house. Oh my God, the house came with keys? I don't know. Mommy got the house in back in the 70s. But anywho, and sure enough, he came over. I left. I went out in the hood around with my homegirls. I didn't even see him. Big pregnant outside at night like that. So she let him go through the keys, and I don't know. It's weirdness. He got some keys to work, and I don't know. Not for my apartment though. He should have went to his mama's house. And then once he left to come over, LiB gonna call mommy's house. Put your daughter on the phone. Put your daughter on the phone. Ordering, orders like she the general and pays the bills at mommy's house. Mickey's coming over there. Well, she didn't call him Mickey, using the pseudonym from the book. He's on his way over there with his family. They coming to get you. I'm like, well, they got the address. Ain't no way, man. But even though I was going out with the homegirls anyway, because I didn't want to argue with him, that you're more scary than him and his family to me. Oh, Lord, I got off the phone with her. But anywho, Allie, what I didn't realize was that was the tip of the iceberg. Not the tip of the iceberg. It was a term. That was the precipice of what was to come. I still love my family. I just didn't think they could do what they did. Oh my God. This is, again, 1990. Okay. I'm big pregnant. And she brought that up later on. in early 2000s when I told the difference between my progeny. She said, well, one, you went through so much hell when all you went. I'm on the phone like, oh my. It just was creepy how she was diagnosing and prognosing. I'm like, oh God. But in any event, yeah, you were the arbiter of that. You were the, okay, never mind. On with back to 1990. Oh God. So my friends was doing a I told you not to move over there with those evil ass women. They evil as hell. Why did you move over there? I'm in the hood. Like my mama told me to go. I didn't have a choice. And why would your mother want you to live with them? Oh my God, she must know them better than you. Those are her sisters. Why would she send her daughter to the dinner, the dinner wolves, and they just on and on in the hood? And I'm pregnant, so I can't have no pink champagne and toke no weed in that condition. But they were doing it, telling me all about how I shouldn't have moved over there and this, that, third, another one. Hold on. Now I had to sit in it because I didn't want to see Mickey when he came by the house to go through the vat of keys. And I can't believe the house came with keys. I'm like, that must be, that gotta be Etchu's house. There's Indians in the house now with all our memories. And I wonder if they racist. They didn't let my sister in the mail gonna come there. They're gonna make her wait outside like long and ask her to show ID. I'm like, you had to show them ID to pick up your mail? What the, and why are you waiting outside that long? Just I don't want to say these Indians are racist. I don't know. But that's very strange. To the point she walked away and was chilling with the neighbors saying hi to them. And they opened the door. She had to run back over there like, hi, I'm here to get my mail. I know it's here because they told me, oh, you have ID? And she's like, ID? I used to live here. I was raised here. Never mind. She showed them the ID. They gave her the mail. Never mind. Peace, Jaja. So, just the memories in that house. Lord Hansel. Oh, Lord. I wonder if the keys are still there. That Joan and David is there. That Joan and David, that must be karma. Just God. Okay. Back to 1990. So that was highly stressful. Highly stressful. And so I'm at mommy's house just chilling. You know, what could we do? I know I got to go back soon to feed my cat. And I'm worried about my cat. I'm like, I hope they won't harm my cat. At this point, I don't even know what to think. But I have to go back anyway because the baby shower was coming. And we had fun because it was like a Laverne and Shirley type of thing to get everybody upstairs. And I'm telling them, don't make too much noise because, Margot's right downstairs and she's not really a social butterfly. I don't think she would want to hear us having fun up here. They was like, we gotta whisper at the baby shower. The whole run of the baby shower party. They was like, this party is as eccentric as you. Just the food was good. Charlene cooked delicious. Mommy didn't want to come. I'm like, you don't? But you're so invested. You didn't. She was like, no, I just can't make it. So I don't know if she had Avon or church business. She didn't say, but she didn't come. So it was Charlene hosting, and my friend Bobby took over, and yeah, everybody, all the girls got upstairs with throwing pebbles up, and you got that good strong arm to get the pebble all the way up to the third floor window. And I'm looking and seeing. Some called and said they're on the way, so to give me, a ballpark what time they should pull up before I go downstairs. And then other non-pregnant homegirls took over going downstairs to let people in, but that still worried me because don't seem like none of them was scared of Libby or Margot. I just didn't want them having any type of encounters, if you will, going to let people in. And I'm like, please tippy toe up the steps. And why we gotta walk on eggshells? Oh, Allie, the baby shower was fun because it was an adventure in and of itself. Anyway, so after the baby shower, and gratitude to everybody. The food was good. Arlene food is. Did I just say her name? Oh, Jesus. It's not a popular channel. This is not too much traffic. Charlene's food is always good. Always good. And thank you, everybody. I'm like, girl, 30 years ago, you thanked us then. I did. I sent out thank you cards, but thanks for making it beautiful because I did worry about how ominous she was on that phone. Like, aren't you going to have a baby shower? You sure you're not speaking to me? Because I know me. I know what I can do. And I'm on the phone with chills, goosebumps, and not in a good way. I'm like, what is she going to do to the party? I digress. I say I digress a lot. Am I doing You know, you the bridge to the next. That's what music is. They taught that music class. The music is the space between the notes. That's why people say the bridge to never mind. But some people are annoyed with ums, even if they themselves when they talk. I'm proud of the journalist classes I took. Am I umming? I don't know. I know I'm doing I digress the bridge. Over. I digress. So after the baby shower, I says to mommy, the place is cold. Now she didn't go to the baby shower. She may not know, but I'm showing her the pictures. You see us huddled and bundled up with coats on. The place is cold, and this is what my friends are telling me. Then, if you bring a newborn in this ice box, somebody gonna call BCW. Back then, CPS was called BCW. It stood for the Bureau of Child Welfare, and I don't know why they changed the name in New York. I don't know, CPS, Child Protective Services. I don't know, but it was BCW back then. And I'm like, BCW? Oh my God. And that made me panic. I don't want my infant baby in the foster care with strangers because I ain't got no damn heat. Margot used to get the oil would come. I think he came from Long Island. An oil truck would come heat the house. I don't know if he did it monthly or bi-monthly. I don't know how that oil tank thing ran. I don't know. But Margot told us if I can't get my rent from LiB, I can't pay for this oil. That's what she would tell us. So I recommend you get some space heaters. This is what she told us. And I told my baby daddy, get a space heater, baby. He said, oh, yeah, no doubt, I'll get one for each room. And he did. He got one for the living room, the bedroom, and the kitchen. And that's how. And the bathroom would be cold, but I would try to move the kitchen one towards the bathroom. The floor plan, how the house was structured. The bathroom was off from the kitchen. So in any event, and you're still cold with it. But friends kept saying you can't bring a newborn in that ice box. This is what they would call verbatim is how they would call it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I've said that to LiB right in front of, was Marco standing there? Sure. But LiB is the one who was like, oh no, just keep the baby between you and Nikki, because your body heat to keep him warm. And I'm looking like, well, that's overnight. We can't be in bed the whole day to keep him warm. I don't know, but I knew it was time to ask my mom if we could just stay with her throughout the winter, especially while he's a baby. And get this, I like the one bedroom. I like having my own space. Once you get your own space, you always want your own space. If you have your own place, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, I can't do this winter. I can't do winters here. No. So I asked my mom if we can come back, especially while he's an infant, throughout the winter months. And she said yes. So her and my older brother, we go over. I'm still pregnant. We go over to the house on Southside Jamaica, Queens, and I take my key and I open. Before, let me insert this memory in this daggone here audio. Before this moment of going to the house, I go back by myself, not to even get anything, but this was for my cousin. When before we got excommunicated, LiB and I this time, she was talking about his name in the book, Jerry, her son, just 3. The oldest is Jerry. She was talking about him doing something, constructive with his life, and he has to do something. I don't know if it was military or job corps, but he has to do something. I said, well, one of my high schools I went to, I really, really liked. I went to 2 high schools. I like it. It's a family. You can tell the teachers really care. I love all of them. Oh God, I said, it's the only thing weird is you call a teacher by their first name. And she was like, why? Why would the kids do that? I'm like, no, it's the school's idea. I know you may hear about that now. I don't agree with minors calling adults by their first name. It's too hard to make it to adult. In my doggone opinion, they earn that handle once you get past grown ass age. You know what I'm saying? But they insist you call the teachers by their first name. I don't know. But I felt the love in that school. And you get half the credits, but it goes quick. It's you don't even want to cut out from class. It's so much love in each classroom. You can tell the teachers care. She was like, well, can you take him up there to register? And da, da, da. I'm like, no, he can just take himself up there. And of course, she's on the phone like, oh, come on. He never asked you for anything. I'm like, I'm just his cousin. What could you ask your cousin for? I don't, huh? I never asked him for anything either. I didn't get the logic, but she was insistent I take him. And I'm telling her, no, the school wants you to bring yourself. They want to make sure you want to go, not being dragged, kicking and screaming. This is what they said to my mom when she brought me there. I digress. So I relented and I said, oh, okay, sure. So I think I was coming back to do that, to keep my word to him, to take him up to satellite, to the school. And I put the key in. This is before I came back with my mom and brother. Put the key in the enter downstairs, the main floor, and Margot flung the door open so harsh I thought she would break the glass in the door. Nothing. That's nothing. That glass was scary. Now, if you live in a safe neighborhood, some quaint little town where there's no crime, that door wouldn't scare you. But this type of glass door in Southside Jamaica, Queens, in the 80s and 90s, and I was asking Margot, you gonna change that front door? She was like, well, what money? I'm like, oh. She was like, you have your own door upstairs to your place. But it's just, Allie, that door scared me. It's just too transparent, literally, okay? But anyway, she flung the door open at me very angrily, to the point I had to tug with the key to get it back out, so it don't, stay in or fall to the ground, to the stoop rather. And I'm like, hi, like gulp, like what was going on? She was like, oh, I thought you was the niggas again. This is Margot. And I'm like, what niggas? Niggas chased Jerry home. Niggas chased him home? Why? And then he comes out. She's like, Jerry. And he comes out and and he starts explaining, telling me, what happened. Not that he had to, he's just telling me what happened. He said, I was walking by the corner and I accidentally knocked over one of their 40s. 40, old English is a 40 drink from Gen X. I don't know. Did millennials drink 40 ounces? I don't know. I ain't never drunk it. Unless I'm making seafood, put in your crab boil. But they were very popular in the 80s. The cold 40s, the guys used to drink on the corner. Malt liquor, Lord Jesus. But he knocked it over and it spilled out. This is Southside Jamaica. Al, if you're not sure of 50 Cent is from there, but if you're not sure of Southside in this era, I don't know. Southside's still bad. Probably gentrified. Lord knows. Heard the whole flock of Indians in it. No shade to the Indians. I don't know who here this, but any event in that era, guys on the corner, just mercy, okay. So he said, to his credit, he says, well, how much is it? And the guy said $5. 40 ounces they were not $5 for one back then. And he's looking at him like, $5? He was like, nah. I'm paraphrasing. He was like, you trying to play me. And they were all getting up to like crowd around him and God knows what. So he took off running as he should. I heard him. This is not even just no hearsay from a third party. I heard his mama tell him, a good run is better than a bad stand any day. A lot of mamas was telling their sons that back then. They feel no shame about it. If you're outnumbered, a good run is better than a bad stand any day. So he took off running, and they chasing him, and he made it home, and it's no time for the key. So maybe Margot was there to fling the door. She's a 21. That's Etching the Legba's number. 3, 21, anything 3. That's and Etching the Legba, they rule the door. This is my thoughts. Like, God, Etching the Legba must have told her to go to the door, because he ain't got time for no key. And she flung it open, and she stopped them. Thank goodness this is an era where people respect their elders and women. Oh Lord, because I think he said it was 5 or 6 of them. No one woman could stop 5, 6 niggas mad as hell and running. They already in the adrenaline is through the roof. Mars rules males and Mars rules action. Mars rules war. Mars rules Aries. Unless they had respect for women and elders, that's the only they had to have, because they stopped. She was like, where y'all going? You ain't coming up in here. She stopped them. They was like, he owes us money. He owes us money. And she know he's not a street person. She was like, how in the hell he owe y'all some goddamn money? He knocked over our bear. Now, I don't know if she went in her bra and threw money out to the step to them, but she's angrily saying her part while he's trying to say his part. His only part is, I knocked it over by accident. I asked the guy, how much is it? He had a stuttering problem too, because he's stuttering as he's telling me. And I'm thinking, if he was stuttering when he asked the guy, how much is it? And that guy had no compassion, he gonna tell him $5? That's very expensive for that period. I don't know what they were, maybe $2 a dollar, and allegedly they put that stuff in hood because they want you to drink it. So it was very affordable. Not no $5 per bottle. No, no, no. And he wasn't about to be played like that, okay? Or maybe he just didn't have the $5. But even if he did, if they play you once, every time they see you, you fooled. You know the hood alley. If they could play you once, they'll try it again. Like, oh, he gave you the $5 for that. You just you're fooled every time. And I'm a big bubbly, soft is cotton candy. And I got I had to fight when I was being extorted for now. There's no bitch. We gotta fight. Fuck, I ain't fucking. Back then, you could lose and not be shamed. You know what I mean? It's a different ballpark I hear now. People are shaming people for losing. This was why people are going right to the gunplay. No, back then, the matter is, did you fight? As long as you defend yourself. I'm not giving you nowadays every day, bitch. No, ho. And we had to fight in PAL. Yes, we did. And I got mine. She was flinging me around the cafeteria bars. And I was holding her goddamn collar. No, bitch. But because me and my goddamn junk food, my damn candy bag, because it started out we was friends, and I was giving her the candy. But then I had to come give it. And you know how I feel about rum now laters? They don't even make them anymore. Rum now laters. No, bitch, we gotta fight, ho. Look, calm. Okay, oh, calm down, sweet Jesus. Oh God. Oh Lord, that girl. Were all my fights over food? I must have a real food problem. I don't know. I don't know, but kids be taking your candy. And I send my little brother to stores, and they take the candy from him. Then you gotta come back out and fight and defend him. Why did you take his candy bag? Let me. It's a shame I only got riled up for food and candy. It's just horrible. Anything else, I'm calm, stoic. Allie, been with me. But anywho, so Jerry walks off. I'm about to say his name, Lord. He walks off from the door. You gotta go calm down. He probably gotta, drink some chamomile tea. I don't know, LiB bought chamomile tea, but anyway. And that's when Margot says this to me. LiB is always not here. She's always out. What she care about is her fashion and her men. And she's out being, and she says all these names, epithet names. Now, per Margot, she's been celibate for years, decades. Okay, no, not decades, but she's been probably decades. LiB was not a man fan, not at all. She just asexual. She just no. You know what I'm saying? So she's in a position to call her those names because she wasn't doing nothing. And she should be here for her kids and her son. And Q lives with her dad, and she's barely home, and just on and on and on. In the moment, I'm thinking, and she just no shade, Marco, but I'm thinking she jealous that she has a social life. But you get older, you're like, well, she had a point. The point I'm bringing this up with that is she called her the same names LiB turned around and called my mama a couple of nights later on that same cold stoop. You know what I mean? Oh, sweet Jesus. The irony of it all. And my mom has never been called that. No one's ever cursed to my mom. Or as far as I know, or even behind her back. When I would go to my mom's job and those, we talking about men who climb poles for the phone company. They cuss like sailors. But if mommy entered the room, they would just stop. And this is what they told me and my observation. They would just stop cussing. So no one even cussed around her, let alone at my mom. And I'm like, and you're offended because it's offensive words. But let me just get to that part about coming back to retrieve my stuff. So mommy and my brother bring me back to the house. This is another night, 2 nights, maybe 2-3 nights later, to get some things, especially the baby shower things, because I'm about to have the baby. I'm any day now. So they come and things I can't live. And my brother wanted to get the TV, because I paid for that. So I don't want to stay here. You're not gonna be in the winter. So he's very interested in getting things he paid for out of there. So we come in through again. I use my key, get the glass door, come on through, and Margot comes out of Lib's apartment like a roaring bull. Now I know she a Pisces, Sagittarian moon, but the way she look in her face, you can see like the horns and the snarl. I'm like, does she have Taurus on the ascendant? In my mind, I'm not asking that at a time like that, but like a raging bull, and the big contours and things, just angry looking, like as if I took something from her. Keep in mind, February rent is paid in full. In full, I owe nothing for the month we're in. January is paid. All the rent is paid up to date in full, and we're still at the beginning of February. Okay, so I have a right to go upstairs. And I had the money order receipt in my pocketbook because I'm showing that to the cop like my rent is paid. But, okay, but I'm skipping parts. Okay, anyway. Oh Lord. So she looked at me. She's like, "What is this? You telling your mother that I don't keep the heat on in here?" And I looked at mommy like, "Mommy, what is this? Like, what are you walking me into this type of ambush?" Because mommy drove us over there. You couldn't warn us in the car that Margot may be mad because you called and asked her about the heat. No warning. But mommy looked shocked too. Like, I didn't know she'd react this way. Me, my brother, and my mom was standing there like, gulp, like, dope. Like, what the hell is this? What's the Simpsons used to say? Dope. That's that sound he would make. But in any event, we were definitely dumbfounded. Like, what the hell is this? So, it takes a minute to get over the shock. And I'm like, huh? You heard me? Why you told your mother I don't have the heat on in here? While the condensation is coming out her mouth as she's speaking. So I looked to my mom. I said, "Mom, do you see smoke coming out of my mouth as I'm talking to you?" And we have our coat on. We have our coats on. And I'm like, "Mom, talk. Do you see the smoke? It's cold now, right now. You feel? Did I tell you a lie?" And then Margot starts yelling, "You make it seem like I never had the heat on." And I don't know what her and mommy's conversation was. So I'm looking at mommy. I'm like, "Mom, is that what I said to you? I make it seem like that's what you told her?" And mommy's like, well, no, that's not how I worded it. Yeah, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being, Margot's yelling, "I'm sick of being nice to people for no reason." And I'm like, when was she ever nice to me? Like, well, maybe back when we were in Brooklyn, I didn't understand what niceness had to do with the daggone temperature. I'm like, "Mom, I thought I said that I was warned to get the baby out from this because someone may call BCW because infant shouldn't be in this temperature." Who told you that? You need to choose better friends, and you shouldn't have friends that are called BCW. And Margot's yelling about I shouldn't have friends that were called BCW, and Jesus Christ, I'm like, well, anyone could call if they get wind that an infant is in. No, 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 no. You trying to make it seem like I was a bad landlady, and just yelling and yelling and yelling. I'm like, I don't know what my mom said to you, but my only concern is my baby and da 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 da. Um, so she's still yelling and yelling how I always complain to my mama. I'm like, "Mom, I always complain to you." The whole scene was surreal in the hall right there, very surreal. And then from the kitchen in Lib's house, because I'm looking at Lib's closed door, like impressed, like because drama, she likes to be in the center of that. I'm impressed she didn't join us out in the hall under the guys that taking up for Margot. And Margot didn't need no help being we're nobody to fear. So, but Margot didn't need no help in that moment. She definitely held on. With was nothing really to hold your own with because we're not attacking you. But in any event, I was still impressed that she didn't join the fray. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But I talked too soon. That inner voice, because from her kitchen, you could hear Lib's voice say, "Because she's a liar." Speaking of me, and I just saw a documentary not that long ago on American liars or something like that, and one of the guys said, "Oh, lying is like American is as American as apple pie." Something he said. Why am I get cosmic downloads like that and recall? Yeah, as they say, I'm a born journalist. But I just thought about that quirky little scene in that lion documentary, and I just chuckled. And then that chuckle made Margot even angry, as if I'm, clowning her insolence. And I would just say, "Oh no, no, I'm chuckling about something else." But I'm like, Mom, I've lied, but I'm not a liar. I'm too lazy to be a liar. And I wouldn't lie about cold. What is that to lie about? Cold temperatures? That's nothing to lie about. That's like lying about the weather. It doesn't even make sense. And the proof is, smoke is coming out of our mouth right now. It's cold right now. And that's right now. Margot's yelling and da 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 da. And I'm like, look, we're here just to get some things for the winter. I just want to get some things out of my place, and that's it. We're not here to argue. I'm not here to make any waves. I just want to get some things. I pay my rent. I just want to get my things. Somehow, Margot walks off, and I'm thinking, okay, the way is clear to go get some things. My brother starts upstairs to do exactly that, and I'm about right behind him. Mommy, for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe it's part of Conics, Connie, and Connors. I'll get to that later, hopefully, Allie. Like, who's Conics? What's Conics and who's Connies and Connors of the world? Things I learned in metaphysical classes. But any of them, like, now I know this has got to be Conics. Because why would my mom, instead of coming with us up the steps, she goes into LiB's, she attempts to go into the LiB's apartment. LiB meets her at the door. I told you they etching a legba. That's the door. Bouncers, bodyguards at the door. They're doing etching a legba work. Just Allie, get into ether. Virgo again is at you. You see what I'm saying? Who you think gonna be at the door with the anyway? So she meets her at the door, and mommy was like, well, why did you call her? Love you, mommy. She's trying to defend my honor and you see how she went bonkers? I defended mommy's honor with the dismissive hang up the phone. Mommy's trying to defend my honor for once, a rare moment. Why did you call her liar if it's cold in the house? And then she started, get the F out my house. She's saying the actual curse word. Get the F out my house, Ruby. Get the F out of my house, Ruby. Get the F out of my house. And I'm thinking, well, technically, she didn't even step in there. She's still in the hall. You meeting her at the door with this. Because, of course, I didn't go all the way up behind my brother. I came back down, because I could hear and I could see what's going on. And I came back down. Not that I'm violent, but just stand in solidarity with my mom. And mommy is looking like, she's just stunned. Like, wow, I've never cursed at, I never cursed at anyone. You're cursing at me? What is going on? Get the F out of my house. So mommy's honoring the boundary, and we're about to leave. And I call out to my brother, just come on back down. Just come on back down. We'll leave. No, not yet. I was saying, well, we just want to go up and get our things. We don't even want to be in your house. And then LiB yelled, well, get a police escort. I'm like, oh God. So I call out to my brother, and he fresh off of parole. He's not supposed to have, I don't know if you know about racism. Scorpio, you know about racism. Do they still got that rule? You can't have police contact, which means even if you're innocent of something, you didn't do anything. If you're in contact, they can stop you for, I don't know, a red light, a red ticket. I don't know. When you're on parole, it's probation and parole. This is parole. Let me think. No. Yeah, because Nikki, his firstborn, he's Nikki in the book. She's born in 86. Yeah, he's home. He's home. It's parole. It's parole. He's not supposed to have police contact. So I'm like, oh God, no. And I think they knew that, mommy sisters, half sisters. Oh God. So she yells, get a police escort. And I'm thinking, like, he can't be around police. Allie, if you're not familiar, look it up. Because you're probably like, well, what's wrong with just being around them? For black people, there's these strange parole rules. And you'd be like, well, let me just stay in the house I get for parole. No, you have to find a job. Tupac, we ain't meant to survive this setup, even though you're fed up. Keep your head up. Oh God, Tupac, we love you so much. But in any event, so I'm worried, like, he can't be around no Po9. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, and we're not even a threat. We got to get a police escort. So we go to the precinct for the police escort. And she's still cussing mommy out. Literally cussing her out all the way out the door. And this is not mommy's temperament. It's not her karma. When I tell you she didn't use profanity, look, oh, maybe in her youth, no. I did interviews in Harlem. She didn't cuss as a little girl or a teenager. You know how hard it is not to cuss as a teenager? She's Obatala. She just didn't cuss. Oh, mama. In any event, her Obatala shined brightly too when she would wear her white in church, and deaconess and usher board and oh, mama. But anywho, you know when let me hush. But look up, go to Dr. Yafabe, cousin, and look up the etymology for God, God. Sevon speaks about it too, but I don't know what video he would have. Dr. Yafabe piercing the fog. If it's still up, check it out. Because all of that goes to Germany, allegedly, per study. All the energy our churches, because God is Goth, goat is German. That energy we send to Germany, allegedly, different schools of thought. So I told my mother that when I first learned it. She said, "Well, I'm sure they have churches in Germany." I'm like, "Mom, this energy we do is never mind. Let me hush. There's a power that created the ocean and the mountains." So I just started praying to the power that created the ocean and just let my prayers go from there. You know, even pray, Prey versus Pray. Allie, you want it? You a Scorpio? You want it? But just know where your energy is going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was glad I was able to tell my mom that. In any event, even your fiat, your money, pray over that. Like I gave with good intentions. This money can only be used for good, sound, sane, righteous intentions. Trust that energy, cover that fiat, that money. You know what I'm saying? The fiat. If you want to, all suggestions. You're grown. But I'm thinking how often my mother tithed and just just all that output. I'm not saying the church dissed her, and I would hope not. I don't know. Just so dedicated to the church like that. Just even when she moved down south, she still tithed at the New York church. I'm like, how could you afford this? You tithe at the church here in the south and up in New York still. Yeah, I still want to support them. I'm like, oh my gosh. Just, what happens for you in the end? Well, I do it for the Lord. In Germany. She's there you go with the Germany again. I'm like, Mom, look up Dr. Yafa Bay. Go on, look it up. No. Just look up etymology. Ooh, but no shade to Germans. I don't know Germans to listen to this. But anywho, so back to we at the precinct and we're explaining to them what's going on. I'm showing them the proof that I paid my rent. And pardon me, allergy season. It's allergy season all doggone time. And they say to me, okay, give us the address, we'll meet you there. I'm like, okay. And because I'm afraid of my brother with police contact, just being around them, I'm like, you stay in the car, let me and mommy go in the precinct. He didn't listen, followed us right in there. I was like, oh God, Jesus, H Christ. But I guess he wanted to, let it be known that, we didn't do anything. They're overreacting. I don't know why. It's just very belligerent. Oh, when she was cussing mommy out on the stoop, she was calling her the same names Margot called her. That day they chased Jerry home, and I remember being very calm, and I whispered in mommy's ear, "When did you have time to do all of that? You always been home with us and paying all the bills, and like when would you find time to fit that into your schedule?" And yeah, from what her sister said, she's never home. And one Q lives with her dad someplace else, and this is what Margot has said. I said, Mom, when she's calling you, Margot called her. Don't feel bad. But mommy's not turning to listen to me. She's still arguing back with no profane free argument. But she stood her ground. I couldn't believe she had the courage to argue back. And she kept repeating, spill your lies. I'll speak truth. I take care of my kids. Mommy kept repeating, I take care of my kids. Because mom, that was what was said in the family a lot. That she just cared about fashion and her image in the public and just being fly. And attention from men, hips, booty. She had the shape to attract them. And they called her Brick House, like the song back in the days. And I just couldn't believe it. And you're like, well, what were your brother doing? Standing there shocked. We couldn't believe someone speaking to mommy that way. And mommy's not a fearsome character, but she's Obatala. Our personality should tell you that mommy was Obatala. You know, the kind of kids, but mommy didn't drink, so I don't know. But you know, these are the kind of kids Obatala made. Now, I share Obatala, I mean no harm, yeah. But our great aunt, what's her name in the book? Margaret, great aunt Margaret. She used to say, you know, y'all all had that thing. I'll say the word is in the memoir, but she's the only one that don't have it is man. But all of y'all got it, but man. And I told her, well, the readings I get, let's call her Violene, for legal reasons. From the readings I get, Violene hates us all, but man, she likes man. So maybe that's why man don't got that thing you're sensing. I didn't know about the mommy being about to lie yet, but yeah, you don't give him no palm wine, you don't give him no look at all. Yeah, oh mama, I share about to lie. But in any event, so with the precinct, yeah. So, oh, this too, Allie. While they're arguing, my brother looks at me and go get in the car. Because mommy's in the middle, he's flanking one side, I'm flanking the other side. And that's something when people are upset, you know when the cops flank people, they handcuff it. Okay, look at Hip Hop Cop, Allie. Is this still on YouTube? It was a documentary. The part when they openly, usually they claim they follow all the stars anyway. I was especially black celebrities, but it used to be covert allegedly per online study. But with this, they wanted to openly follow him, and they followed Busta Rhymes. This is per the documentary. And instead of going in his car, he went down to the train station, and one a cop allegedly went down at them like, "Why are you acting this way? Why don't you want us? Why you won't let us follow you or something?" I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. Okay, okay. Now look at that, and then find Choke No Joke when he went to the Breakfast Club. I'm not sure if he left that video up. Email him. He may email it to you. You give him a love donation. His cash app. I don't hear Taurus money and Scorpio Taurus. The money signs. Ask him for the video when he went to the Breakfast Club. See if he'll email it to you. He tells the story when he was arguing with Dame and Jay-Z in the 90s. He said all of a sudden they just stopped arguing with me and they came and flanked me. They came and stood by his side. It's parallel. Allie, you're Scorpio. You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it. Oh, God, your left and your right side. Oh, Lord. So at this time, I don't know this stuff. I'm young. I'm 20. I'm pregnant. I don't know this. I don't think my brother, unless he was reading it when he was in the penitentiary. I don't know if he know it. I don't know. But it comes up in readings. Like you flanked your mother when she was arguing. That was a good thing. I'm like, arguing, my mom? And I had to, you with the reader, putting the puzzle together. I'm like, oh, in 1990, we were by her side. Even the term, when people say, they was by my side and how we speak. Oh, Allie, find that Choke No Joke video. The Breakfast Club had to take it down. They surely did. So we were by her side, and that came up in readings. But anyway, the enemy wants you isolated. They don't want no one by your side, literally or figuratively. You know what I mean? That's what the 48 laws of power. Don't be isolated. Oh, man. Allie, you already know what it is. So he's telling me to get in the car, but I didn't want to leave her side. And I was on her left side. And the energy enters through the left side of the body. Your left side is feminine. It's look at left-handed people when they write. They're turning inward. That is no longer theory now. That left side is feminine, it's inward, and your right side is masculine, it projects. That's why the cars, that the steering wheel on the right side, your right side is masculine. Driving is an Aries thing. The car itself, the vessel is Taurus. Where you're going is Gemini, be short term. Sagittarius, if it's a long drive. But the right side projects. So they got the steering wheel on the right. It looks foreign to us because we're Americans, but they put it on the left side for America to slow you down. For some reason, they don't want you going fast. That's why any track stars, they need to really have their sneakers blessed. I don't say blessed, the etymology. Dr. Yafabe should tell you about the word bless. But in the hood, we say, I didn't want to bless him out. We saying this in the hood. Never mind. Shout out to Dr. Yafabe. But in any event, the original meaning of a word is like the original cell in your blood. So when you say things and your blood is confused, like when India Arie sung "Confusion is the Name of the Game," in her song for video. Misconception, mass deception. Something's gotta change. Your wording. And Christians like God bless you. You're saying German curse you. You don't argue with them because like, well, my intention don't. But when they say God bless you, it's German curse you, and your mind just quickly change that. Just going to change it over in your mind as they say it as quickly as you can. But that's what they're saying. I don't know Germans how they feel about Americans. I don't know. I digress. No, shout out to Germany. I don't mean no harm. In the military, they go there. They still go there. Okay, back to the point I'm trying to make. It was speed. That's Aries. Aries was Caucasians. You see how they get upset if you're speeding or it rules law enforcement. It rules violence. The downside of Aries. Okay. If a fire sign has their sun sign in the water house. Oh, Allie, we could talk astrology later on. Anyway, so the precinct, um, they were very interested. Is the rent paid? And da, da, da. I'm like, yes. Here's the receipt. They want to know if I even have a right to be there. I'm like, no court told me I couldn't go there. I'm walking with the lease. You read the lease. I'm showing them the lease all in the precinct. Just yes, I have a right to go there and get my stuff. They want to see if I'm a menace that they would be in fear. I'm like, I'm pregnant. Does anything about me look fearful to you? Would you be scared of Chrissy Snow? I'm in the precinct asking them if they be afraid of Chrissy Snow. Would you be afraid of Edith Bunker? And they're looking at me like, what the hell do we have here? I am no threat. I just want to go get my things. Okay? Especially the baby shower things for the baby. So they go, back before I get to the precinct. After my brother tells me to go get in a car, and now we're leaving my mom, one of us is not by her side. But before I even knew about the metaphysics of being flanked. Spritz yourself when you leave the house. Oh, God. You probably do, Scorpio. The Scorpio has the shell anyway. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. They say you speak crazy to a Scorpion, Pluto will mark you for death. I don't argue with Scorpions. No, So you and Cancer, you already got the shell. So when you spritzing yourself with protective spritz, and they have them. They have them. Shari Zane, she keeps selling out. But you can make them. You can make them. And I'll give you a recipe, but you can make, you're a Scorpio, you can make your own protective spritz. Spritz yourself before you leave the house. Oh God, Miss Sam, another Scorpio, just said something about people touching your hair. I'm like, what about salons? Oh God, Lord Jesus. And doctors got to be touching. One doctor keep touching my husband, but I salt him and spritz him before we leave the house. But I'm like, does he have to touch there? But I don't want to get belligerent because they kick you out the hospital. But I shouldn't act that way. I have to have confidence in what I'm spritzing them with before we leave the house. But spritz yourself before you leave in the name of Scorpion constellation. Okay, before you leave that house. Your son is elect, but he Gemini. But spritz before you leave and spritz before you get back. And my spiritual people, they say, let's spritz before you go out. And there's a spritz before you come back in. And you take your shower and you spritz them in. Because people touch. That touch, that flanking, and I don't understand poor impulse control. Probably I don't hug well because hugs blend auras, girl. I don't. And shaking your hand, all that information in the lines of your palmistry. Do the dab, the knuckle bump. I don't want to. Unless you hugging someone righteous, and they got to see you as righteous too. Unless you hugging someone holy and divine. I Winnie Mandela said, "Don't shake their hand." Go and look it up. She said, "Don't shake their hand." I shake Winnie Mandela, but I know you don't want to see rude on a job interview. I don't. Post COVID, I don't even know why people touching anyway. I'm like, they don't remember the lessons from COVID. I just you calm down. Yeah, I'm not a touchy. I'm not tactile. I don't know. Oh Lord. But anyway, back to the I deflanked mommy and I walked off following my brother's instructions, and I could hear somebody walking up behind me. And I didn't turn around, but then I heard her. It was your sister. She was like, why you put Maisha in this? Jesus Christ, that's his name. Anyway, but I looked at her. I was like, huh? And I'm still sort of in a twilight zone. It's the whole moment is serially surreal to boot. And I'm looking at her like, huh? And she's like, why did you put him in this? I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I just wanted to get out my things. I don't even know what this is. She was like, Lib told me you put him in it. But what is it? I said, Shauna, I do not think about your husband. I don't know if this was her fiance, her first husband. I don't think about him to talk about him. I don't. And look like, and you know your sister's a stone cold fighter. She's a combatant. I don't know if she's into fighting pregnant people. I don't know, but you know she's a combatant. So I don't know. I just was trying to brace myself for what may come. I don't know, but I was definitely like, sincere eye contact. I don't think about your guy. I don't think about him to talk about him. And here's the irony: Lib used to rank on his complexion. He was very, very light skinned. I mean, high yellow. She's the one who taught me about the scientific, truth of melanin and how it's a good thing. She said, "Don't call it pigment because we're not pink." And back then they used to call cops pigs. We got it from the black that term from Black Panthers. She said, "We're not pink and we're not cops. Do not call it pigment." She would correct you with wording, period. And so she was the first to definitely bring what melanin it is to my mind, my young mind. So I always lauded dark skin. In the 80s, lauding light skin was the shit. It still is, isn't it? It used to be called color struck back then, but now they call it colorism. Um, so I think it's still touted as the premium hue, but she got me out of that young, and I'm thankful for her to that. But here's the irony: twice this happened. Once when I was a teen, and another time when I was grown in my 30s. Out of nowhere, she just was like, "I'm lighter than Nandy." I'm using the pseudonyms from the book, and everybody would look like, "Where did that come from?" It maybe be two or three people in the room, and I would shrug and go, "Well, I like my melanin." Reminding her, like, you don't want to talk me about melanin. I learned from school later on. Dr. Richard King, his book is good on melanin. So I've learned from other, institutions about what melanin is and why they want our organs allegedly and our plasma. Like, oh Lord, I saw a plasma truck. I'm like, oh my God, they bringing the trucks to the hood. I'm thinking they wait till you come into one of their offices. A red plasma truck in the hood. I don't know if they offering free money. I don't know. And there's people waiting online at it. I'm like, oh, no shade, no shade to anyone who gives their blood. Last I heard, you give them $30. Your DNA, your ancestors, $30. Cause you even buy a meal with that? I just at least make it enough to pay your phone bill. I mean, make it a better incentive. I don't know. Would that be a business write off? I digress. Anyway, so back to Shauna. She was looking at me like searching my face for the truth. I'm like, and I don't. And I didn't mean it as a slight to him because he's never disrespected me. I was cool with him. And he helped clean up my room. One time, Mickey had a temper tantrum and a crazy fit in there and tore the room up. And I let it stay like that. And I told his mother, he's tearing up my room like a brat. And I mean, breaking windows, just cutting, just a tantrum, cutting the food. And Shauna and Maisha came over, and she was like, "You can't sit in this." Maisha's name that he liked to be called is baby daddy's name. So I used to try to make the distinction then back then. But in any event, I remember because he was saying, "Oh man, why his name got to be that?" Doing this stuff. So he was cool, Libra, and him and Shauna was like, "You can't sit in this like this. You're pregnant." This is before I moved over to the South Side to rent that top floor apartment. You can't sit like this, pregnant like this with the room like this. I'm like, I am not cleaning up his mess. I done called his mama. I told her what he did. I'm not. I'm sick of him. Do you know what our first fight was over? Allie, when we're young. Jesus, a certain candy. I don't want to say the candy because only he and I would know that. Your sister may remember. She was like, "That's what y'all had a fight over because I didn't share with him. I told his bad luck to ask pregnant people for food." She was like, "It's not food, it's candy." She was like, "You have a sugar addiction. You and this candy have every fight. What is with me and candy fighting?" See, Etchen and Legba is candy as well, too. The kids in Etchen and Legba, they love elderly, and that's why I'm messing with kids and the elderly. Jesus Christ, you better hope they don't know how to petition Etchen and Legba. You better hope them kids don't go to Crossroads and be like, "I'm being bullied, goddammit." I don't know what the kids know these days. I don't know. But they love kids and the kids love candy. Old people love candy. The church mothers that had peppermints, I ain't sit next to them. I like the church mothers that had the different kind of candy. The strawberries, If you sit still, they'll give you candy. I was addicted to candy. I still am. You got the missing teeth to prove it. But sugar's a drug. I learned that from that guy Ricky, the NFL. When they interviewed him, gonna make him feel bad for smoking weed. He looked at that interview and said, "Well, sugar's a drug." That interview had a 12 cup of "Shut the fuck up." And said, "Oh, why my cousin Lord?" And but that's what I learned it. When was I in my 20s or 30s with that? I was sitting at the TV like sugar's a drug. Oh God, I digress. But it is. I asked a biology professor in school. Then it was like, yeah, sugar messes with leaches your calcium, and I don't. It's so addictive. But all my fights was over some kind of food product. You know them coconut cakes from Tasty Cake? Oh, it's time to fight for that. You ate my coconut cake. You know how hard it is to find a Tasty Cake coconut? Oh my God. Oh. I'm like, did you win the fights? I don't know. You black out. Don't eat my damn cake. No. And I'll share. I'll give you your own cake, but don't eat off my. You're gonna touch my own. I gotta get over this sweet tooth thing. I'll share food, but my sweets. Oh God, just yeah. That was our first fight as a couple over candy. Just more details on that in the book, Lord Jesus. And then he tears when he can't hit me anymore. He tears up my room. Oh, Mickey. So your sister and her first husband is cleaning up the room, and I'm just sitting there staring into space. And she was like, "You want help?" I'm like, "I'm not cleaning up behind him." She was like, "Oh my God." My point is, I was cool with him. The point is, I was cool with Maisha. I'm gonna speak bad about him to LiB. She's the one that ranked on his complexion, used to rip on his complexion, not I. So I'm like specific. So we're standing there by the car. Did she specifically say what I got him quote unquote into? She just said you mentioned his name. You was teasing or something, clowning him. Oh God, I don't think about him to clown. I don't think about him to gossip about. I don't. He doesn't even cross my mind. And she was processing it. You could see her thinking. She's smart too. She has academia and street smart. She's from the Bronx. Jesus Christ, Rosnick. So she's processing the data. And then I spoke again. I said, "You ever notice every time LiB is mad at somebody, she can't be mad at them alone. She has to recruit others to be mad at them with her." Did you read The Art of War? I don't know if I said that last part, but I certainly was thinking it. I'm thinking it now. No, she can't be mad at a person alone. No, no, she can't do that. I gotta recruit your contemporaries, your peers, and God knows who else. Just Jesus Christ, whatever. So Shauna walked off, and I got in the car, got on in the back seat, and waited for Mommy and Mac. Oh, did I just say his name? God. Oh, I waited for them to return to the car, and we went to the precinct. And sure enough, I did the spiel, and my mom was like, "I don't understand why she can't simply go upstairs and get her things. She paid her rent. It just doesn't make sense." And my brother looking at her like, "Well, why did you tell your sister that we were coming by?" Well, I didn't tell her that we were coming by this evening. I had called days ago to ask about the heat, and just just in the fog in the precinct trying to explain we need an escort for non-violent people to go get their things. Okay. They was like, "All right, give us the address. We'll send a sector car to meet you." And da 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 da. Oh Lord. And I'm praying that it's, cops with compassion. I'm praying there's cops that understand the black family in the hood. I'm praying that the melanated cops. I know Karis one got the song Black Cops, so you like, I don't know why you praying for black cops. It wouldn't probably been no daggone better. But just black cops who understand the FBA struggle. Happy birthday, Karis one. Blast Master, happy birthday. I'm mad at you behind you in the FBA, but they say it's political. Allegedly, behind the scenes. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, but when you call them the S word that ends with D, and I'm like, Karis one, I done read your Bible, the hip hop gospel, the temple, the Bible that you went over on Sundays on YouTube, and you have no mention of Puerto Ricans creating hip hop 50/50 in that thick book, and you have Howard Zinn in the book. That's how much I love the book. Okay, I'm like, oh my goodness, because I had Howard Zinn in college. That book about America from 1492 to present, where he kept the 1,000 and true up in there, okay? So I'm like, oh, okay, how was it? I'm open. Garrett's plasma, it's smart as hell. And then I read your brother's book, This is math, KRS-One. I read Kenny's book, his memoir. No mention in it about Puerto Ricans creating hip hop 50-50. Yes, they contributed, they was there, but creating is something different. It's like two FBAs making a baby. They created the baby in bed. Let's go back to the slave plantation days since we're talking about this. People taking over stuff. They created the baby. Then the slave master stole it and took it. In his mind, I own something I didn't create. Because they go, oh, well, they don't own hip hop. No, because people will take what we create throughout these centuries. The Runaway Slave channel and Julian Johnson channel, Esquire, his channel, give you more feedback on it. Not you, KRS, when I know you know. And I met you at my college. Remember? Oh God, never mind. But forgive me. I didn't know you. I didn't even know you was at Simone, and I didn't know Simone was sitting right there. I'm in the hall. No, y'all wasn't. I wasn't carrying on like that. I was. Never mind. Oh, how I loved the Blast Master back then. But anywho, you gave me an autograph. You had a cherry red BMW back then. And just patience with us. You was the first to teach us the uneducated hires the educated at that lecture. We thought you was gonna do a concert. I'm like, he about to rap? This girl know he gives lectures. I'm like, oh. And I cut class in college. I've never cut class in college. That make no sense. We paying the tuition. What are you doing? They was like, no. KRS-One is on the grounds. I got to go see what's going on. Auditorium. It was so good. But then I asked you personally, because we followed you to the car. You was just so patient with us. A patient Leo. A patient fire sign. But Leo rules children. It just, but we were, 18 community college, 19. But the patience. It was a beautiful moment. And that autograph you gave me like a tag. My sister burnt up the garage. And it's amazing when you lose stuff, what comes to mind immediately. And I thought about the book Grown Up X by Ilyasah Shabazz. She wrote she inscribed it. And I remember looking at my name. I'm like, this Malcolm X DNA wrote my name. That was a high in and of itself before I read the first page. I'm just staring at my name. Malcolm X DNA wrote my name. So anyway, my books were in Mommy Garage and in your autograph. That book and that autograph, first thing that came to mind when the garage went up in flames. I was like, oh my God, no. Something with flames. Malcolm X, the assassination gunfire, his wife fire, and then after my grandbaby got her tree planted on his birthday. No, let me hush. What is with the flame? Because he was an earth sign, but he had an Aries moon. That's fire. I don't know. No, my grandbaby is safe. If Allie's like, what happened with your grandbaby? Like, she's fire, but she was safe. But I don't know. That's in the book. That's in the book. No, she's safe. She's safe. But it's just something. You know how you get a download, Allie? I'm like, what's with the fire and Malcolm X and me? What is going on? Because that's the first thing that came in my mind. My sister was barbecuing. She didn't set the garage on fire on purpose. And that's nothing. Mommy was very light. Well, she has home health insurance. Well, she had both. Mommy had good insurance. When I tell you that house, when the fire, oh my God, the house went on fire. What the hell is going on with that house? Are the Indians safe in there? What is with that house? I was babysitting. Shout out to Patrice. I was babysitting your son back in the 80s, and he wouldn't go in the house. It'd be in the memoir, y'all. Because I'm like, what is going on with that house? And my brother, that fight was in 96? And he was out the window, yelling out the window to neighbors. But calm. Hi, can somebody call the fire department, please? And the neighbor said the fire was flaming, engulfing over his head, and he has the time to be polite. That's why he's a Libra. Libra rules grace and diplomacy. And of course, they gave me the blank expression after that. They went in the mall. Kelly around the way gonna tell my brother, yo, man, your house is on fire. He was like, oh, word. And she was like, why are your brothers so laid back? What is wrong with them? I'm like, I don't know. Because I left my apartment in a panic. I'm like, oh. And they was telling my brother, jump. He was like, no, I don't want to break a bone. He's chubby. He was all outdoors. They was like, we got you, jump. The flame was something with that house. I wonder if the Indians spiritual. I don't know. The Bhagavad Gita. I digress, Allie. Back to the point. I mean, like, this is a trip. I need to smoke weed messing with her. One of my friends said they had to smoke a blunt to talk to me. Funny as hell back in the day. But Felix Unger, get in, but it messy like Oscar. Okay, what I'm saying to you is, the precinct. Okay, we came back from the precinct, so we standing in front of that house to the They pull up and they pull up. And it was two Caucasian. No one looked Spanish. Was he Caucasian? Oh, do me Kenny Parker. No mention of half Puerto Rican and half black. Anybody who's Gen X that lived in Spanish Harlem in the '70s, they know they ain't hear no hip hop coming out no Spanish apartment, and none out of those restaurants on Third Avenue either. When I would go up there and get my food, I'm like, they can't be talking Gen X that live in Spanish Harlem. And then their little cars that have the Spanish music, they didn't listen to hip hop and rap in the '70s and not around there. So in the Spanish Day Parade, you didn't hear the hip hop, not in the '70s. And was it did they play in the '80s? They came on though, the dancing and stuff like that. But no, just creating it and owning it is two different things. Taking it to own it is two different things. Contributing and creating is two different things. In this context, you know what I'm saying? So that finished with the analogy with the baby and the slave. Anyway, back to the precinct. We left. They met us, and it was two Caucasians, or either one Caucasian and one Spanish. And I just said, "Oh God, this is not gonna go well." Because you and Charlene's uncle, alive at the time, he worked in law enforcement in Manhattan. Though she's like, "Why didn't you call me? I would have asked my uncle to come up." I'm like, "To Queens?" She said he would have gave you all the time in the world. I'm like, but he would have drove from Harlem to Queens. If I ask him, everybody loves Charlene. I believe her. I'm like, no, I didn't think about your uncle at the time. I just didn't. Oh, jeez. Good man, blessings be upon his soul. Ah, shit. But a lot of people who have cops in their family, FBA cops, they was like, why didn't you call me? He would have gave you more time than that. I'm like, I'm not thinking, and there's no cell phones, and you gotta go to payphone and call the people if you did think about Lord have mercy. But in any event, they came. And I'm thinking everything okay. Okay, of course the sisters, LiB and Margot, are back at the door, still looking angry, like somebody stole something from them. I didn't have psychology by then to understand separation anxiety or abandonment issues. I'm 20 and pregnant. I just saw their mean mugs. Like I'm like, well, what did we ever do to them? If anything, they was mean to us. So make it make sense. But in any event, I was into astrology, yes. Then that puts you around other spiritual people, but we usually was talking astrology back then, which is astrology is the study of astro stars, study of the stars, but just I don't know, just surface stuff with the psychology in me in that moment to figure out this must be some sort of abandonment issue. I don't know. Just bizarre for me. So the cops are talking to them to get their story, the two sisters, and they're saying things that just was completely untrue. Oh, they're disturbing the peace. There's disturbance in here, and we don't want them here. And he's a menace. He can't come in. So that's the muscle pointing to my brother. He has the muscle, literally muscle bound penitentiary type work. As I said, he's a menace. He can't come in here, and we fear for our life. I'm like, officer, that's not true. We're non-threatening. But my brother being dark skinned and big like that, you know what I mean? They're not trying to hear that he's non-threatening. The stigma on black men, especially if you're healthy and muscle bound. And I'm like, this is crazy. I can't believe you just can't even believe that this is happening. And then and her kids are around her watching her act like this. But again, if you are raised a certain way, in their mind, they kids are impressionable. Oh, my mama doesn't take no shorts, and she told them that they celebrate that depending upon how you're raised. But if no one's serving your mom any shorts, that's not taking any shorts. That's a bully. It's a totally different psychology. So finally, they let me and my mom up, and mom was like, "Well, they said we're gonna let you two up." Point to me and mom, and you got 10 minutes. And I was like, 10 minutes. We can't get but so much in 10 minutes. I can't even get all the baby shower stuff in 10 minutes. And the cop gonna go, the clock starts now. And mommy's like, we don't have time to argue. Come on, come on. So me and mommy goes upstairs. And mommy's in her 40s. But fit. She, fit and stuff. But she's in like boots with a little heel. Had sneakers on. But I'm like, how much can we do? My friends was like, you should have put things in big garbage bags and threw it out the window. I didn't think of that. Stress is a mug, isn't it? I'm like, that's a good idea. Because if you threw the things in the big black, baby daddy had big black garbage bags in the house. I was like, we had garbage bags too. She said, if you threw it in a big bag and threw it out the window, your brother could just take it from the grass and put it in the car. But I just wasn't thinking. So we just grabbed what me and mommy could grab, with our feminine strength, physical strength at the time, estrogen, you know what I mean? They didn't want testosterone to go up there and help. Oh, just and we're doing the best we can with the time allotted. And sure enough, 10 minutes later, one of the cops came upstairs and was like, "Listen, we have more important calls. You got to come on. You got to go." I'm like, "We're not a threat to them. We're not. If anything, they're a threat to us." And the cop just gave me a look like, "It's not personal for me. I really don't care, but we got to go now." And I'm like, "Oh my god." So he recommended to the half sisters to go to court if you feel unsafe. From us. Can you believe? If you really feel unsafe, go to court and get a restraining order. Uh, um, and I'm like, but I paid rent. I'm in the conversation too now. I got to come back and get the rest of my stuff. Here's my money order receipt. I paid rent. I have a legal right to come to where I paid rent. And the cop gonna tell me in front of them, not if these ladies don't feel safe with you. And I look down at my belly. I'm like, I am a threat to no one. And he's like, well, I don't know you personally. I'm like, oh my God. I can't believe. I couldn't believe he was taking their word that we're the threat. You know, all police do that. They'll make it look like you're the bad guy. I'm like, Malcolm X said it. Well, he said of the media, mainstream media, they have you thinking the guilty one is innocent and the innocent one is guilty. Damn, that's power. A paraphrase. I'm like, I can't believe that. I just couldn't believe it, Allie. And that's Darvo. Look at the HR video on YouTube. I forget her name. Very good channel. I wish she was around when I was working. Lord have mercy. But she has an acronym. I don't know if she coined it. I'm not sure. But it's what narcissists and bullies apply when you accuse them of doing what they do. Bully. Darvo. D as in deny. Oh yeah, Darvo. DARVO. What she said. Deny, accuse. Oh, Darvo. No. Deny, accuse, reverse victim and offender. Darvo. This was Darvo all day in front of them cops, okay? Made them believe we're the menacing ones. Oh, Jesus. And mommy wouldn't even hurt a fly. I don't initiate hostilities, nor did my mama. I wouldn't even know how. If I tried to initiate hostilities, it'd be clumsy and funny. It'd be a sideshow. Who would believe it? And this excludes ex-boyfriends. My ex-husband here, this Lord. Oh, Jesus. When you're loved and your passion is involved, it's totally different. I'm invested in you, mind, body, and soul. It's a different dynamic. But with all other connections, I don't initiate hostilities. Oh, Jesus. But in any event, and I know my natal chart. Mars is violence, the downside. The upside is sports and things like that. Mars rules violence and it rules competition. So to initiate something, what are you competing for? What is the prize you're seeking? I'm too lazy for those things. I'm emotionally lazy too. But I know my natal chart. I know what Mars is doing. I have no business initiating hostilities. The cosmos ain't going to help me. I know what Mars is doing, child. Jeez. I know what Mars is doing. Let me hush. I'm telling my natal chart on here. But anyway, but you want cosmic help? Know your chart. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, I now if I do, never mind. Like if I do it this way, Mars will help. Okay, let me go on and hush about my natal chart. But I don't initiate hostilities. Okay, I know myself. I know my chart. I know my cosmic blueprint. I have a conscience. I don't. Anyhow, the conscience come from my mama, not my daddy. That's what all gonna show. I shade Papa. You don't know. No shade to him. You just gotta know yourself, know your lineage. Okay. So we come back down with what we can hold. Me and mommy, we go in the car, and we drive off. And mommy was. I remember the concentration was the baby shower gifts, but we didn't get the scoop of all that. But we wanted him to have his clothes and stuff like that. And I couldn't believe that repeat. How history is supposed to repeat itself because it's cyclical. Ladies, us being on our cycle. The ladies that lost their jobs, you see the 380 something 380 something thousand, some kind of number like that of FBA sisters that lost their job. I pray for God. Y'all see Mama T's video when she was interviewing that lady. Oh, I can't think of the lady's name. Go on and email Mama T. Mama, she spells Mama differently. And ask her for that video, y'all. I pray for that, and I hope you see Kendra G's video. I don't know what she says it in a few videos now, but ask her. She'll say it again. When Kendra G says, ain't no money being made to sisters on deck, a natural wound and a surplus of melanin. Let me hush. And this is all allegedly against the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is the humanitarian of the zodiac. I know they're cold. Only when things don't make sense to them. Then they get cold. You want them warm? Make it make sense. But they're doing a lot of inhumane things during this age as to be anti that the age of Aquarius. Okay, allegedly per study. So, sisters, this is FBA sisters. This is no time for us to be catty towards each other, arguing with each other. We need to get with each other. Okay, I don't. You know what I'm saying? We need to stick together. Find Mama T's video, and really stick together. Especially if you still get your cycle. The word cyclical. Let me hush. Oh Lord! But blood is a life force. Do you throw your blood away when you get your menses? Let me hush. Hush, Nandy, hush, 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 hush. But it's not the time to panic. Aquarius is cool. It's cool. It's distant. It's just ask the cosmos. You know what is going on. Why do they hate air signs and they hate allegedly they hate cancers too, a water sign because that's the mother of the zodiac and it's a woman. Here we go. But you like Virgo is the mistress. It's a woman, but Virgo rules Jewish people allegedly. Oh God, Virgo rules small hats per study according to study. Different schools of thought. We didn't got to agree. Lord knows we don't. And again, Virgo's dark side. They can get with that allegedly per study. Their favorites are Capricorn because Saturn rules Capricorn, and Saturn is the center of the material universe. It's your skeleton in your body. Saturn, Capricorn. That's the skeleton of the planet Earth herself. They like Capricorn, Virgo, and Aries. Those are their favorite three. Their least favorite three are air signs and Cancer. According to the studies I sat for, and I love my astrology teachers, they all that in a bag of chips, diamond chips. Okay, back to my point. Good books too. I was getting so many good books. I don't understand how people can go to a birthday party or anything empty-handed if there's books on the market. I'm like, you went there empty-handed, you didn't bring a book? You had a baby shower, you could bring a diary. They got pregnant mama diaries, really good ones. My cousin wrote one. I got it too. Her book, 1 Minute Mama. Her book is, Lord, I've done. Don't speak on the family. To leave my family alone, people. But her book is good. And I just got another one for pregnant women. Mama, You Matter. I forgot the sister who wrote that, who put that diary together. But yeah, you could bring a book to events if you don't. Oh, I didn't have any money, so I didn't go. You can find a book under $10. What do you mean? They got wine under $10, but you're pregnant, you can't drink. But there's just too many affordable things to go anyway empty-handed, in my opinion. And it's against feng shui and Mayat, because Libra rules gifts. Yeah, Libra rules manners and salutations. When you say, pardon me, that's a Libra thing, or thank you. That's Libra. It balances the Libra is the bookends. Library. You see how library is spelled? You see Libra in it? Librarian. It's a Libra. Occupation. Okay, I digress. I do a lot of digressing. Sweet Jesus. Oh, did we leave that house? And the neighbors that came out the south side, coming out watching us the argument and on the stoop, just totally embarrassing. So while we're driving home, it's quiet for a little while, and my brother's house isn't too far from there, but for some reason he wanted to come and see us home. He said he'd just take a cab back or whatever, spend a night, and go home the next day, from what I could recall. But I remember, did mommy drop him off? I'm not sure. But it felt like he was with us in the car for this part. Mommy, because you don't, I'm thinking she can't hear me because she's arguing. with her half sister. And mommy was driving along. She said, "Tell me more about Margot saying those same things to her the other day." I'm like, "You heard me?" She was like, "What happened?" And I told her the story that Jerry got chased home, and that startled it pissed her off. You know, we happy she saved him. She flung the door and he got in, and prevented them from following him in. That she was like, "They was trying to come in here." I'm like, "Oh my Lord Jesus!" I couldn't imagine them go. Just Jesus Christ, going to someone's house and carrying on over a 40 ounce of beer. Oh, FBAs, please heal, please heal. Oh, Lord have mercy. But I said, yeah. When the name she called you, she called her other sister. Her sister called her. The other sister called her that the other day. Mm-hmm. Sure enough. But mommy did that again. I still didn't even get to Allie. I still didn't get to August 18th, 2003, because mommy did that again by this time Lib is not cursing, but she's yelling and screaming like a banshee still, and then trying to fight me. I'm like, as a Christian, you fight me? You using me to get your gangster stripes on? You must still think I'm 12. No, I'm 30. Yeah, I was in my early 30s. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, spirit, let me just hush. But she's trying to come. I'm like, but you wouldn't even fight the sister that came to your office to fight you. She was on the phone with some transit worker lady. Whoever this woman is my Shiro. And I guess she was talking, I don't know, crazy sideways to this woman on the phone. That woman got up out her bed, and I don't know if she drove to the city. Where was that office? On the west side, I think. Or she took the train and bus there, I don't know. But she went to Lib's office and was like, "What's up?" And here I go. I'm like, "Was she from Brooklyn?" She was like, "I don't know where she's from." And I just, and she told me these stories unsolicited. But I'm like, she came to your office to fight you. She was like, and I told her, I don't have to fight you. I have a mind. I can think. I just got my nails done. Yo, I'm like, your nails look pretty now, and you want to fight me, but you wouldn't fight the chick that come to your place of business to fight you. Oh God! And I've been wanting to get to. Let me see if I can get that out. Oh, the robbery, the burglary. Let me finish the burglary. I'm gonna get to August 18th, 2003, or the 19th. I think it's the 18th. And I wrestled with this memory patch because my cousin Tosh graduated. I think in '04, because I texted, "When did you graduate?" Because the graduation seemed, because you graduate in May. It's just, I don't know. Unless I was upset with her for something else around. Well, 2004 would be the next year. Because I'm in the basement now. I had got the apartment, but I had to come back to mommy's house because it was 1,300 a month. It's too much. Never mind. And she comes in the basement to tap on my door where my room where I'm sleeping, to wake me up for Tasha's graduation. "Are you going to the graduation?" No, Lib didn't go to the graduation, Allie. And I'm in my room like, why is she talking to me? Does she think we're recommunicating with, and speaking sweetly? She don't talk to me sweetly. I'm like, what is she caring if I'm going to the graduation night? So I don't know if it's, I'm going to text Tosh. I think she graduated in '04, college, I'm skipping the doggone paragraphs. Oh, I didn't get to the burglary. Finally, we go home and da 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 da, and that's that, and that's that, and just try to, And I think she called. What was that, Papa? Papa, what is that? Oh, she called that house. I guess cussing mommy out wasn't enough. She called again the house, and this time, and I'm like, I don't understand why you speaking to mommy that way. Mommy never spoke to you or anybody on the planet that way. That wasn't mommy's karmic call. That type of rhetoric and that vulgarity. That's not mommy's karma to collect. And I thought you was family oriented. I'm saying something. Why did she even call after we got home? I don't know. And she says, "FUB." I'm like, me a B? If I am, I'll learn from you because I looked up to you. No one do B better than you. And I'm saying the actual curse word. And she hung up blam, again, the whole hang up on the old school thing. I'm like, this is strange. They're mad as if we wronged them. I didn't know it would get more bizarre with the burglary. I had no idea. Child, jeez. So you just go on and move on with your life and things of that nature. But I still got to go back and get my stuff. I think the psychic said, well, they saw your things as a divorce settlement. They wanted something. They saw you. They wanted to control the ending. They wanted you to lose. But you can only lose if you willingly enter some sort of game. Professional sports teach us that both teams, both sides chose to play the game. I didn't willingly enter some sort of game. I'm not even competitive. I'm too lazy to be competitive. She was like, that's your psyche, not theirs. They saw your things as a divorce settlement. Huh? They're just, again, they're sober because everybody around the way was like, oh, they smoking crack. Crack was, the thing back then. I'm like, no, they don't even smoke cigarettes. They drink. No. They was like, they don't drink or smoke. People assumed that they were addicted to something to make them, rob my house like that. Corrine claimed, LiB claimed she wasn't there. She claimed she wasn't there. And, but that's the controller psyche of the narcissism. When your sister came to my house in 91 to tell me that LiB wasn't there, and I'm like, well, all I know is my things weren't there when I came to retrieve them. It's like, again, Darvo. I don't know. The bully wants to bully you and get away with it. Then they want to control how you think about their bullying. It's, well, they said the victim gets the right to tell a story or something. So they don't want the victim to have a voice. They don't want you telling your own story. They want to tell your story, or not. It was very weird. I thought my mom brought her to my apartment to apologize, but your sister was indignant. Like, I don't know what all you think I got. I only got one pair of shoes, Joan and David's. No, I asked her, well, what shoes? I'm a writer. I need details. The Joan and David Oxfords. I'm like, oh. And I just sat there like, I don't know. But later on, LiB was like, well, who else wear your shoe size? Are you exercising common sense? So, but the way your sister was doing her hands with, demonstrating how they was going crazy in the place, like wild banshees, like something came over them. I, I don't know. And it was locked. Only one who had the spare key is the landlady, Margot. So she took her key for them to go in and get the things. And once they did that, she took her key and locked it. So by the time I returned, this time I didn't return with my mom or brother. I returned with Charlene and my friend Tiny. And we had mommy's car. And I saw my things in the yard. This is how ditzy and, let me not say ditzy, the haters say ditzy. But this is the type of Rose Nyland headspace I was in. Just total innocence. I'm 21. And I looked in the yard and said, oh, that's so nice. Because they were in black garbage bags. But I could still tell it was my things from the other boxes and the little suitcase. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. They brought it downstairs to me. Thinking they did that because of pregnancy. Just, oh, God. It still didn't dawn on me that I was burglarized. It just never even crossed my mind. It just didn't. So I go upstairs. And Tiny and Charlene is like, okay, we'll get the stuff out the yard. So they getting the stuff out the yard into the car. And I go upstairs. I take my key and go in the place I paid rent for. It's still February. And gone. Just things were just empty. Things strewn about, unwanted things strewn about on the floor. Just, they even took the bedding off the bed. I'm like, will they wash it first? Who takes the bedding off the bed? But to their credit, the place is so cold, you need the blankets, you need that stuff. But I just didn't think burglars took bedding. It was basic bedding. It wasn't like exquisite stuff I got from Bloomingdale's or anything like that. And I sat on a naked mattress like, who takes the bedding? My mind is going over that so long. Like, I didn't even know you could take the bedding. I don't know, but all my cute shoes and pocketbooks, all that stuff. Gifts Mickey bought me, gold and beautiful rings and just things he had to put on layaway. He was a street hustler. He wasn't getting it like that. So and then the baby shower stuff was gone. We took some, but the rest of the stuff was gone. I'm like, but they don't even have a baby. What they would want with the baby shower stuff? But yeah, of course, through therapy. Well, they took that to hurt you. Things that didn't make sense, they took. Diaries. I'm like, well, I'm not a celebrity, so my diary wouldn't be worth no money at the pawn shop. Weird things. You know how they sign your book when you graduate in elementary and junior high? Those your classmates and teachers sign? Those were gone. I'm like, well, they didn't go to my schools. Why would they want those? But the therapist was like, well, they wanted to hurt you. So they took mementos and sentimental items that would hurt you. I'm like, oh. Because I'm thinking burglars take things that they can make money from, things that make sense. I was into Gucci and labels back then. Um, they took his TV. They took the TV my brother gifted me. He was pissed. Oh, God. I just sat there. Then I opened the fridge. You're just walking through in a daze in slow motion. And I opened the fridge and they took food and juice that was open. And my ex used to take the juice to the head. Well, he brushed his teeth and all that other stuff, but I'm like, why would they take the juice? They don't know he put his mouth to the thing. I don't mind because we used to tongue kiss. He's my man. But sometimes I do mind. He didn't backwash because that was his response. Well, why, Chubby? I don't backwash. I'm like, ugh, it's rude. But in the event, but I didn't mind because we kissed. So, but I'm like, who would steal juice? They don't. They don't know that he drinks it from the carton. I don't know. But food was gone. I just canned goods. They had ample time because I spent much time at my mom's house. But I just couldn't believe that they robbed me, and I'm just sitting there, and then I could hear Tiny coming up the steps, like from the shoes. She had on Nike sneakers, and I think Charlene had on boots, but I knew it was Tiny. And I was like, I don't even want her encountering these people. And none of them came out the apartments. I don't know if they were not home. They were home. Because that day she had on a long red leather coat. Charlene told me because I was upstairs with the belt of the waist and the red leather hat. Really nice, Charlene told me. Because it was so quiet, eerie quiet in that edifice. So I came downstairs. I said, Tiny, don't go up there. She was like, why? You don't need help? What's wrong? I said, there's nothing up there to get. The sofas were still there. Oh, let me hurry up and get the sofa bought out. Because those big, chunky pieces my mom got from the thrift store. Nice sofa set. Mommy knew how to thrift, find quality stuff out in Long Island thrift stores and stuff. But in any event, I said, there's nothing up there to get. She was like, that's not all your stuff in the yard. Even Tiny knew my clothing, my wardrobe. And shout out to Tiny. She was like, that's not all your stuff in the yard. I'm like, no, it's not. But it got to be things they weren't interested in. Because whatever they were interested in, they took. She was like, no, let's call the cops. And da-da-da. I said, no, Tiny. I'm going to call on the Lord and be through with these people. I'm over it. Let's just go. So we going back downstairs, and Tiny was like, these evil bitches. It's Tiny from the South Side, too, Baisley Project. It was so pretty, chocolate pretty, Iman Regal pretty, just model pretty. But Tiny is not physical, but her brothers are. The Baisley people who love her are. And I didn't want my mother's half-sisters and having smoke with Baisley Projects. I didn't want that. I know, still caring about them. They don't give a good goddamn about me. But I didn't want them to come out like, what did she say to them? No. And Baisley could walk there. It's the South Side. They could walk there. I didn't want Tiny to go get the folks she know. And she wasn't fond of them pre-burglary. Jesus Christ. So, I remember LiB said Tiny isn't pretty. We went at Heckscher State Park. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's the most beautiful person I've ever laid eyes on. I'm talking about Iman model pretty, y'all. Prettier than Iman, in my opinion. Tiny's gorgeous. She's still pretty. We in our 50s now. Gorgeous. And she's modest. Like, I don't see myself like that. The rest of us still, girl. In high school, one Spanish guy, you know you gorgeous. You know you pretty. I don't know why you be praying like you not. You play like you not. And I digress. High school was fun. That's how I met Tiny. The second high school. Anyway, these Tiny girl. But anywho, so we go back to the car, and I just get in. Come on, y'all, let's go. But there was still stuff in the yard. And Charlene was like, and that touched me. She was like, no, don't give up. I'm like, no, it can't be worth any good. Then they wouldn't have gave it. They wouldn't have put it in the yard if they wanted it. It can't be valuable. Let's just go. And they was like, no, let's just get it. Don't give up. So her and Tiny got everything out the yard in the car, and I'm sitting there like, I don't think it's any good. So we get in the car, and we finally go back, and Charlene's driving, Tiny's in the passenger seat, and she looked back at me, support. She was like, I wish you had my mama. Ooh, it wouldn't have went down like this if you had my mama. So her mama don't take no shorts either. But Baisley Project, they from Brooklyn originally, child cheese. And I just was like, I can't believe they robbed me. I just couldn't believe Allie, I couldn't believe they cleaned out my place like that. I never saw. Now I know the sisters are mean spirited and feral. I just never saw them as thieves. But I just thought it was just feral, catty, mean spiritedness, and Margot just grumpy and grouchy. Just but thieves. I was. I'm still shocked by it. I'm just like, whoa, like you really don't know people, really. It could be in your own kin. Do you really know them? Know them, if you know what I mean. So we get to the house, and I just go upstairs in a daze, and mommy come to the living room, and she was like, y'all gonna leave this in the living room? And I'm like, no, no, I'll put it in the garage. It can't be worthwhile. I'll put it in the garage. And then mommy's like, is this everything? And Charlene was like, no. And that's when they told mommy, I was burglarized. And mommy's calling up upstairs and be like, are you going to go to the precinct? Are you going to report this? I was like, no. I'm going to report it to the Lord, have some tea and go to sleep. And, just what could you do? And then it was soon time to have my baby. And something, baby daddy and Jerry, LiB's oldest, her son, became friends. They were cool, in the house, but I didn't know they became such tight friends. And come to find out, Jerry was rapping. My ex-husband is a music producer. He co-produced something that went double platinum. I won't say the song, but anywho, he had to fight to get paid right. I don't even think he got paid right, but that'd be in the book. Oh Lord! But he finally got acknowledged for that song. But anyway, he used to be with rappers and make songs and produce tracks. But I didn't know until our 50s. I kid you not. I was on the phone with him maybe last year. He was like, yeah, yeah, cousin used to rap. I'm like, he was a rapper? I didn't know. I didn't know. He was like, yeah, he was nice with it. I'm like, no, I never knew he was a rapper. So it all makes sense because I'm like, why are you still friends with him? Why? Why do I have to be reminded of my house being robbed when I come visit you, that you invite me over here with the baby? Oh, God, I got to do part 3 for LiB. This is crazy. But I want to go back to the burglary briefly with the couches. I'm in the house. Even with when we got married, very strange how you could be on the mind of people who wronged you. You would think if I wronged them, I'll be on their mind because they have something to attach. They have an event, a vile event to attach it to. But how do you wrong somebody and they on your mind? It's bizarre. That's the thing with the 2-year-old babies. Oh, oh gosh, my friends used to be like, that's the same thing. And think of it as racism. Okay, 2-year-old brown FBA babies, one baby attack another baby. And the mother beats up her baby for taking the attack. And I'm like, oh my God, no. You try to break it apart. And, okay. Weeks later, that mother is cool with you, your homegirls. She calls and goes, do you know my son keep blaming your son for things that go wrong here in the house? And your son never been to this house? But they're innocent. They just got to the planet, reincarnated. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I'm repeating, like, well, he's never been to your house. I know, she's yelling on the phone. This is what I'm telling him. I have to beat him to stop lying because I ain't raising no liars. Why is he even on your mind? And I'm on the phone like, yeah, why is my baby on his mind? She was like, I don't know. So, again, see the movie The International. When the banker says conflict creates debt and the bank wants to own that debt. Study that scene. Also in that movie when the guy speaks about truth. He said, oh, truth makes you responsible. No one wants to be responsible. Study those 2 scenes if nothing else. Please. Then, according to my spiritual teachers, they said, now you get racism. How racists blame FBAs for everything. You ain't even there and they blame, oh, FBA did it. How? And the FBA wasn't even here. What the hell going on? Think of the 2-year-olds who are innocent. They just got to the planet. Because Caucasians are reportedly the youngest of all the races. They ruled by Aries. Aries was called the infant of the zodiac. Cosmic, what the teacher said? Spiritual infants, cosmic. Never mind. I digress. Margot calls the house Allie. Now I'm on my mama's bed trying to breastfeed my baby. I'm doing the thing that people say, forgive and forget. The church, you forgive and forget. Get over it, forgive and forget. You're doing your part in forgive and forgetting. You didn't even call the precinct. My brother took me to the precinct. It'll be a part 3. I'm doing my role of forgiving and forgetting. Trying to. I'm focused on this is my first baby. My baby daddy's first baby. It's excitement. Our first baby. I remember the sucker reader said, "You had a prince." Uh-huh. And she said you had to sacrifice a large, um, she didn't call it a ransom, a score. She called it something. She didn't even know I got burglarized. She said that they see that sacrifice for being given birth to a prince, is what she told me. Ah, Shay, all praises to all of Jamadi, all of Jamadi. Oh, I said, yeah, he's handsome. Yeah, yeah. People call him a prince because he's handsome. She said, no, no, no. You gave birth to a prince. And that was the sacrifice. She called it something, though. Oh, no, she never met him. Never met my baby. But in the event, allegedly, because I don't know, FBA is always saying they royalty. Now here, Kendrick, I got royalty in my DNA. Oh, Kendrick Lamar, I love you. All right, so back to the sitting on the bed. I'm trying to breastfeed, looking at TV, chilling in mommy's room, had my snacks, trying to breastfeed, seeing if he'll latch, and the phone ring. And we had called ID, but I think this is before the name came up, just the number. But back then, you reflexively pick up the phone when it rings. I don't do that no more because now it's spam. Just text me because I don't pick up the phone when it rings. Usually spam. Look good, but back then the phone ring, you pick it up. So I stretch out my arm, pick it up. Hi, hello. Put your mother on the phone. It's Margot. I catch the voice. Real mean and angry as if somebody robbed her. So I'm polite, calm. Oh, mommy's not here right now. Do you know when she'll come get these sofas? Just real grunt and evil. I'm like, what sofas are those? The sofas you left here in this apartment so I can rent this place out. Just really evil and nasty. And I'm like, well, whomever took the other stuff of mine, just call them up and tell them they forgot to get the sofas. Blam, she hung up the phone on me. I can't believe I had the courage to say that. But make it make sense. Y'all robbed me and you want us to come back and get the sofas? No, you stole everything else, just steal the sofas. Ask the lieutenant if they want that. Oh, God. My brother used to see her in the bank and they wouldn't speak. She wouldn't speak to him as if he robbed her. One time I saw her in Barnes& and Noble. This should be in her. Let me say that for her. I say that for her video, the Barnes& and Noble. Who knows when I'll get to her video. I got to do part 3 for LiB. I cannot believe I still didn't get to what happened on yesterday's date in 2003, which was the purpose of this video. This thing cuts off Allie at 3 hours. I was like, girl, you couldn't get it on. No, I'm not cogent. The type of moon I was born on, I'm just not cogent. You know how you people you're all over the place. They're born on that kind of moon. Look up their moon. It's not an excuse. It's science. It's cosmology. I'm not talking to you for, the haters. Oh, that's an excuse. No, it's cosmic. It's cosmic. And excuse in law, you know what excuse means in law? Part of my 95 credits legal studies. Etymology, just language, y'all. Language. Ah, shit. Anyway, this video is dedicated to Grandma. Ah, shit. Grandma, your namesake has hurt us. Ooh, your namesake has hurt us, Grandma. And what I hear in readings, the hurt behind the scenes, the hurt we know of is hurtful, but the behind the scenes alleged stuff that come out in readings, oh, Grandma, this is dedicated to you. Love you much. Love you, Allie, and gratitude to everybody lending an ear without judgment. Do you like being judged? I know we're sentient beings. We're sentient. You see something or hear something, you form a thought. Oh, the Four Noble Truths. Be impeccable with your word. Don't assume. Do your best. Do your best is fourth. What's third? Don't assume. And this is what I'm doing now. For 40 days, I get it. Be impeccable with your word. Don't assume. What's that one in the middle? The last one is do your best. It's about to click off. Love you. Peace.